Yes, yes. Yes, good morning.
देशमुख सर यूट्यूबची लिंक
Jadhav sir, very good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
गुड मॉर्निंग
एक 5 मिनिटात आपण सेशन सुरू करूयात सर.
काय प्रॉब्लेम. Yes, Girish Nagar, Nagesh ji, good morning. Radha Krishnan ji, good morning.
नमस्कार सर.
Namaskar. Dr. Ariba Jalal, good morning.
Good, sir. Good morning, sir.
Swapnil Khedkar, good morning. Yeah, Ariba Jalal, I am seeing you. आप कहाँ से हो? From where you have?
sir.
हाँ, good morning, good morning.
Sir, I am faculty at Jamia Hamdard.
Yeah, Jamia Hamdard. Okay, based in Delhi. All right. All
Yeah,
right. Yes, I had been to your campus. Very often I visited, go to Jamia Millia Islamia. Yeah.
But it's very near to
It's adjourning,
Jamia.
adjourning to your campus. Okay. All right. All right.
Please visit to Jamia Hamdard, sir. If you
Yeah.
have
May
visit to Delhi,
may
please
God
come
bless all
to.
of us. Okay. In the same order, I can invite you for Ajmer. I'm from Ajmer.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right
Nice
now
to meet you, sir.
Yeah, very pleased.
And we also want to organize some research methodology program at the department. So maybe I will approach to you regarding this.
No issue, no issue. If my presentation, if makes sense to you, then invite me. Otherwise, leave it me. Okay, delete me from your resource person list.
No, sir. No.
All right, all right.
Thank you, sir.
I'm seeing more women participants in this. Probably, women are more prompt and more diligent than the male participants. I'm seeing Dr. Roma, I'm seeing Durga ji, I'm seeing Lakshmi ji. Okay. Usman Ali Saab, good morning. You're saying good morning to everyone.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
Good morning, Lakshmi ji. कहाँ से है आप?
नागपूर से सर.
नागपूर से. ओके. थंडी कशी आहे तुमच्याकडे?
आहे. काल खूप जास्त थंडी होती. सगळ्यात कमी टेम्परेचर होतं काल.
किती
आज
होतं?
जरा बरं आहे.
किती होतं? कमी म्हणजे किती?
10 पॉइंट होतं सर काहीतरी.
ओके, आमच्याकडे रेग्युलरली मॅडम 6 असतं या
बापरे.
सीझन. ओके, इफ यू आर
अच्छा.
सीइंग मी ओके इन अ स्क्रीन, you can feel from my attire. Okay, we have to wear 2 sweater, then head cap. Okay, we have to make apply the room heater. Without that, we can't function.
सर
आणि
तुमचं सेशन खूपच छान झालं. खूप सोप्या भाषेमध्ये तुम्ही एवढं चांगलं सांगितलं ना, खूपच लवकर कळालं.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू. या मनीषा पवार जी, गुड मॉर्निंग. कहाँ से है आप? इट साउंड्स मराठी नेम. ओके, नीड नॉट आस्क. ओके,
धुळ्याहून
धुळ्यावरून. नमस्कार. वा, तुमच्या मागे
नमस्कार.
छानपैकी ते स्क्रीन असं चंद्रावर गेल्यासारखं वाटतंय, किंवा तुम्ही चंद्रावरून
मी
अटेंड करता.
जॉग्राफीची ना सर मग.
Oh, great, 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 great. Okay. Yeah. My son is pursuing geology from University
ओके
of
ओके
Melbourne. He's a geologist.
ओके
He's from Earth Science, basically. Yeah.
ओके.
Good. Very pleased to meet you. दत्तात्रय, नमस्कार. भांडलकर असं नाव आहे काहीतरी.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. हे नाव काय आहे?
सर दत्तात्रय भंडारकर.
भंडालकर. नाही का आम्ही उगीच असं भांडणकर असं म्हणू नये तुम्हाला. ओके, दत्तात्रय भांडणकर. ओके,
येस येस.
या, टेक इट इन स्पोर्टिव्ह ऑर्डर. या,
थँक्यू सर.
श्वेता राणी जी, गुड मॉर्निंग.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Shweta Rani, name sounds you are from Uttarakhand or Himachal Pradesh.
No, sir. Originally I'm from Bihar.
You're originally from Bihar. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
We are having
Sen-
many people, the Professor Mamta Rani and my other colleague Shashi Rani. Okay, originally they are from Uttarakhand, but one faculty via Delhi, now they are in our campus.
Okay, sir. Originally I'm from Bihar, but currently I'm residing in Delhi for my
Yeah,
PhD.
yeah, all Bihar people, they are intelligent people. Okay, they are come to Delhi or the Mofussil place. Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Dr. Vivek ji, good morning.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
येस येस, अ व्हेरी स्मार्ट पर्सन. तुम्ही तर मॉडेलिंग मध्ये गेलं पाहिजे. ओके, कोलगेट किंवा एखादी नवीन क्लोजअपची ऍड तुम्हाला दिली पाहिजे.
येस
इतका स्मार्ट आणि हँडसम माणूस ट्रेनिंग मध्ये असल्यानंतर बरं वाटतं. क्या बात आहे. कुठून बोलतात आपण?
सर, मी धुळ्यावरूनच बोलतो.
अच्छा अच्छा, धुळ्याला कुठलं कॉलेज?
CSRT ला होतो सर आपण.
येस, हो. तुम्ही काय करता सर
तिथं
तिथे?
तुमचा विद्यार्थी होता सर तिथं CSRT ला.
अरे वा, पण तेव्हा तुम्ही म्हणजे तुमची तब्येत छान दिसते आता. म्हणजे मी तुम्हाला
हो,
ओळखलंच नाही. ओके, व्हेरी व्हेरी गुड. तुम्ही कुठे आहात सध्या धुळ्याला?
सध्या सर धुळ्यामध्ये एक संस्था आहे, सामाजिक संस्था, तिथं काम करत आहे मी लुपिन फाउंडेशन मध्ये.
ओके, लुपिन फाउंडेशन. ओके, लुपिन फाउंडेशनला माझी एक विद्यार्थिनी होती पूर्वी.
अच्छा.
येस, पल्लवी आवेकर म्हणून, डॉक्टर पल्लवी आवेकर.
हा सर.
येस, आणि मी मूळचा जळगावचा आहे. मी धुळ्याला बऱ्याच वेळेला आलेलो आहे.
हो सर.
येस येस.
सर आपल्याकडे वेळ आहे तर पीपीटी शेअर करून बघा ना एकदा.
सर, मी कालच पीपीटी यांना पाठवली आहे, आपल्या बनकर सरांना पाठवलेली आहे. बरं, तुम्ही म्हणत असाल तर मी एकच मिनिट फक्त, मग यू जस्ट गिव्ह मी 1 मिनिट. मी माझ्या स्क्रीनवर पण आहे ती. ओके,
आणि कालचा एक प्रॉब्लेम सांगतो सर. मी प्रॅक्टिकली काही कामं करत बसलो काल, तुम्ही जेव्हा सेशन घेत होते.
हा हा
जो व्यक्ती स्क्रीन शेअर करतो
हा
त्या व्यक्तीला इतर जर काही ठिकाणी पाहायचं असेल तर तुमची जी विंडो येते, पॉपअप विंडो ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही दिसता तुम्हाला, त्या
हा
विंडोवर वरी ऑप्शन येतात. तुम्हाला कोणाला बघायचं असेल तर त्या ठिकाणावरून तुम्ही ते ऑप्शन यूज करू शकता. मी काल तेच करत होतो, ज्या वेळेला मी पीपीटी शेअर केली मला कोणी दिसत नव्हतं.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
हा,
नाही
सेम होत.
मला असं स्पेसिफिक कोणाला म्हणजे जेव्हा तुम्ही वक्ता असतात, जेव्हा तुम्ही बोलतात, तेव्हा तुम्हाला 10-12 लोक स्क्रीनवर दिसले की जरा बरं वाटतं.
मग तुमची विंडो आहे का नाही, अशी तुम्ही ब्रॉड करायची किंवा स्ट्रेच करायची खाली, त्यावेळेला तुम्हाला खाली लोक दिसतात मग त्या विंडो मध्ये.
अच्छा, जाऊ द्या आता आता म्हणजे आय आय मूव्ह अहेड. नॉर्मली आपल्याला कन्व्हेन्शनल मेथडमध्ये ऑडियन्सकडे पाहून बोलायची सवय असते ना.
येस येस येस.
तर ह्या झूम म्हणजे किती इट हॅज ऍडव्हान्टेजेस दॅट वाईल सिटिंग इन अजमेर आय एम टॉकिंग विथ ऑल ऑफ यू.
आता इथं जे व्ह्यू ऑप्शन येत आहे ना सध्या वरती, आता
हा
याचा वापर तुम्ही प्रेझेंटेशन सुरू असताना नाही करायचा. तुमची जी पॉपअप विंडो येणार आहे, तुम्हाला जो तुमचा ते विंडोच्या वरच ऑप्शन येतात.
बर बर. मी तुमचं एखादं सेशन घेईल म्हणजे आय वुड लव्ह. आता फुल स्क्रीन दिसतोय का तुम्हाला माझ्याकडून?
नाही.
अरे माझ्याकडून तर केलेलं आहे.
येस येस येस, फुल स्क्रीन.
फुल अय्यो. ओके या ऑल राईट. चला म्हणजे आज माझं सेशन मी स्वतःच हे करू शकतो.
शुअर. आता तुम्हाला बाकी लोक दिसत आहेत का?
मला तुम्ही दिसता आहेत आणि एका वेळेला 4 लोक दिसत आहेत. मी म्हणजे पुन्हा मी
येस,
काही करायला जायचं
तुम्ही
मी
त्यांना
दुसरं
रोटेट करू शकता, ज्यांना तुम्हाला बोलायचं त्यांना
नाही
तुम्ही.
सर. मला उगीच मी काही करायला जावं ना तर म्हणजे गडबड होईल माझ्याकडून. मी आता
सरांनी करण्याची गरज नाही.
आय एम टेक्निकली लिटल वीक. ओके या आय एम पर्सन फ्रॉम
नो
लिटरेचर.
प्रॉब्लेम.
या
वी आर विथ अस.
या
Yes. Sir, shall we start now?
प्लीज.
We have 86 participants participated here now.
So directly, shall I take up, sir, now the session?
No, sir, just as a formality.
Oh, all right.
Yes,
बोला.
1 minute. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all feeling as enthusiastic and motivated as I am for another enlightful day of learning and discover the National Research Methodology Workshop. You know, yesterday we delved into academic writing. Our experts, Dr. Jadhav sir, provided incredible insights, and I'm sure many of us left inspired with new ideas to implement in our research topics. And also, today we have an exciting lineup of sessions. I think it promised to take us deeper into research proposal writing, how to write research proposal, validation of writing, research meaning, and selection of topic, etc. So I request stay tuned for Dr. Jagdish Jadhav sir. And I know very well you wouldn't want to miss him because you all have attended yesterday's session. And sir, everyone of us is really happy that you have given us that type of knowledge. And without wasting time, let's drive straight into the first session of the day. Today we have the same personality who taught us at the last session, who will be guiding us today through how to write research proposal. So I request to Jadhav sir, sir, please enlighten us.
Yeah,
Over to you, sir.
yeah. Thank you, Principal Sir. Okay, thank you for praising me. Probably, this would be a motivation for me. Normally, I'm from rural area. So in rural area, we are having different pilgrimage yatras. Okay. And in yatras,
Yes, sir.
before asking, the big palwan, okay, big wrestler to enter into akhada, they are asking the small, wrestler like me, okay, and they're praising that you are doing good, you are doing good. So I take it that praising, okay, as a motivation for me. But thanks. Okay. Friends, yesterday we talked little bit recap about the basically research methodology, and we much more focus on the academic writing, and that academic writing was basically focused on research article, book chapter, something like that at a microscopic perspective. Today I'm going to talk about how to write a research proposal. Although my title of the presentation, it sounds little positive, how to write a research proposal, but probably, I am going to present what not to do, okay, while writing a research proposal. मतलब हमने क्या करना चाहिए इसके बदले में क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, because now I am reaching, at the 50, I have not realized the goal of my life. मुझे क्या करना है जिंदगी में पता नहीं है, लेकिन क्या नहीं करना है इसके बारे में मुझे ज्यादा क्लैरिटी है at the age of my 50. So in same order, I am going to talk about what not shall I do. So as a warm up, a little bit session, okay, let us use a chart box very, very promptly. People, those who have written, previously any kinds of the research proposal, okay, if your answer is a yes, please type only Y. And if you have not submitted any research proposal, or you have not endeavored, or you have not made any such kinds of the efforts, please type Yan. Varsha English saying no, Vishwajit saying no, Shweta Rani saying no, Ajita saying no. Okay. Someone iPhone no. Okay. Durga say yes. Thank you, Durga ji. Okay. Ariba, yes. Nanishwar, no. No. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. Let us stop now. Okay. I take it that maximum people have not, written research proposal so far. Okay. So for me, I need to change my pedagogy, or I need to uh, uh, say something. Why slide is not moving ahead? Slide is not moving ahead.
Sir, double click on it.
Double click on it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Fantastic. Vaksar is my teacher now. So, while talking about, writing a good research proposal, I do believe that everyone is committed here as a researcher, as a young academician, as a middle-aged academician, or as a senior academician. Everybody want to submit the research proposal to different funding agencies like the ICSSR, UGC, ICHR, or whatever the funding agency is. And, every researcher is like Sachin Tendulkar or the Virat Kohli or the Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Whenever, they reach on the ground, they are very much determined to make a century. Matlab like that, Rahul Dravid or any cricketer never says that, okay, to their wives, that today there is a lot of body pain. Okay, I am not in mood to play. I just, go on a crease and just, will be there for 1 or 2 hours. Okay. And I will come back and let us sit in a pavilion and enjoy the cricket. So all, our national player, okay, whenever they go on a ground, they are very much determined to make a century. In a similar order, okay, who were basically committed or desire basically to writing a research proposal, you are very much basically in a mood, in a temperament to seek the grant for your research proposal. Yeah, am I saying right? Okay. What are your views? Okay. हम लोग रिसर्च प्रपोजल किसके लिए लिखते हैं? ग्रांट के लिए लिखते हैं, सक्सेस के लिए लिखते हैं, या ऐसा ही मतलब मजाक करने के लिए लिखते हैं? इफ योर आंसर इज पॉजिटिव, प्लीज टाइप वाई. ओके. इफ यू आर सेइंग दैट नो सर कि आजकल कॉलेज में कुछ ज्यादा काम नहीं है, ओके, ऑल प्रिंसिपल्स आर लाइक द वाक्सर, ओके, दे आर डूइंग ऑल वर्क एंड वी आर हैविंग लॉट ऑफ लेजर टाइम. ओके. एनी आंसर? Okay, participants. Okay, don't be ideal participants. Yeah, you're writing for success. 8771A. Okay. Okay. No answer. No answer. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, searching for a new solution. Vishwajit ji बोल रहे हैं. All right, all right. Okay. It means that, we all people are young, we all people are dynamic, irrespective of our ages. And we all people want to write a proposal, okay, to get a success or to get a funding or to get a grant. But now you please look at the proposal. In my opinion, okay, even though you are writing a very, very promising, very, very convincing, very, very, methodologically good oriented proposal for me, okay, being the person, those who always, being a part of the different evaluation panel, even though your proposal is very, very strong, but it is a lottery, okay? Because many of the time, just imagine that you are sitting at the ICSSR or you're sitting at the UGC, and our understanding the country having the population more than 140 crore, and imagine that we are having the academic institutions हमारे देश में 1200 से ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटी है, we are having more than 42,000 colleges, we are having 19 National Institute of Importance, then IIT and IIM. Okay, मतलब although in my opinion it need to be increased, but understanding the scenario of higher education in India, we are having the huge presence of the higher education institute or the state or the centrally funded institution across the India. And imagine that, okay, कि हमारे देश में लाखों की तादाद में we are an academician, we are researcher, okay, and whenever there is an opportunity, people are submitting the proposal. So obviously, okay, if the government are having limitations of the fund, if government is decided, to allot only 25 lakhs or 1 crore or the 5 crores, so every strong proposal, okay, is become the lottery, isn't it? So you just understand that even the proposal is very sound, convincing, and promising, but it's become the matter of the lottery. It's become the jackpot. So, but obviously, the connotation, okay, of the adjourning sentence is that weak proposal are going to be dead. मतलब अच्छा प्रपोजल अगर मिल सकता है तो इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ लॉटरी. तो इसका मतलब ये होता है कि वीक प्रपोजल और द प्रपोजल विच इज नॉट सब्सटेंशिएट, वो प्रपोजल का मरना हमेशा सुनिश्चित होता है. So when I work with the ICSSR as an evaluator, I have seen many research proposal, and majority of the research proposal are weak. Okay, so what is true basically? First thing is that strong proposal is a lottery. Weak proposal is likely to be dead. And third one is that many research proposals are very, very weak. But another reality is that most of the weak proposal could be improved quite easily. The people, those who are doing, efforts for writing a research proposal, even though their proposal prima facie are sound little weak, but such weak proposals can be improved quite easily. So what are, a different mistakes or shortfalls that we will discuss in due course of time. But the thing is that who are the part of our today's workshop of the third day, all people are the potential people for writing a very, very convincing a proposal, okay, and their proposal can be improved very, very easily. Now, what is the most common mistake that we all people are doing? Okay, the most common mistakes that we all people are doing, okay, that we are doing the last minute work. Okay, as we are doing the last minute work, we are always missing the scope for the rework, re-editing, and polishing our proposal. Isn't it? Rahul Deshmukh sir, Arvind ji, Poonam ji, okay, Deepmala ji, can you come on the screen for a while? Deepmala, I'm requesting you. Poonam, I'm requesting you. Arvind, I'm requesting you. Rahul Deshmukh, I'm requesting you. Can you come on the screen for a while? Let us make it participatory. Yeah, I can see Sheikh Junaid ji. Okay. Am I saying correct? Yeah. Naneshwar Gore, I'm seeing you. I'm seeing that. Okay, my sentence is that why our proposals are weak. Our proposals are weak. It's only because of that we all Indian academician or we all are Indian researchers. due to various reasons. Okay, it may be our pressure, it may be our laziness, it may be our non-prioritization, or it may be, something like that. Many of the time, we people are doing the last minute's work, and because of that last minute work, okay, we are missing the scope of the rework or the re-editing, okay, and polishing our proposal. And probably because of that, despite of we knowing that, this proposal would have been improved, this proposal would have been, put it in a different perspective. This proposal, would have been the polish furthermore, something like that. Isn't it true? Isn't it true? What is your answer? Your answer is a yes or no? Someone is saying correct, sir. Ashok was saying yes, sir. Durga is saying yes, sir. Okay, yeah. So it means that let us assume that we all people are the potential people. We all people are having the capacity and the capability to write a very good, promising and strong research proposal. But it's only because of that we are doing a last minute work. So whenever, you want to make a promising and a good research proposal, the basic fundamental things furthermore, and that you all people must promise to me that furthermore, okay, whenever you people have decided to write a good research proposal, you people will make your academic calendar, you people will reserve, some kinds of 2 week time, 3 week time, 4 week time, 1 month time. Even the proposal, will not get sanctioned, but in your drawer or in your laptop, okay, there is a well-written proposal. So at least you are having one satisfaction that my proposal was good. Okay, my proposal was very, very convincing. Okay, but it was not the priority of the funding agency. Okay, and due to various reasons, this time my proposal, okay, couldn't succeeded, couldn't process, but the same proposal can be, submitted to other funding agency. Isn't it? Bankar sir, am I saying right? Bankar sir, you need to come on the screen. यस, तो बनकर सर अपना मुद्दा ऐसा है कि देखो, हाँ, आप हाथ कांग्रेस वाला हिला रहे हो. यू आर माय इलेक्टोरल कैंडिडेट, माय वोट इज सर्टेनली फॉर यू. Okay, but just second, my opinion that I do believe that the Bankar sir can write a very, very good proposal. But Bankar sir, always, engage in his village Gram Panchayat election, then departmental sport meeting, then classes and everything. And he never prioritized himself for writing a good research proposal. तो अगर बनकर सर को अच्छा research proposal लिखना है, जो वो लिख सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए उन्होंने एक निश्चित समय सारणी का हमेशा एक टाइम ही हैज टू रिजर्व हिमसेल्फ. प्रीवियसली कैसे जाएंगे? या नाउ लेट अस मूव ऑन द second slide or the third slide. Why should we take maximum effort? Okay, हमने अच्छा रिसर्च प्रपोजल लिखने के लिए ज्यादा मेहनत क्यों करनी चाहिए? उसका सिंपल सा कारण ये होता है कि जैसे मैंने अभी आप लोगों को कहा, ओके, कि दैट एट द इंडिया लेवल, ओके, देयर इज अ ह्यूज कंपटीशन, तो देयर आर द लेस चांसेस दैट योर प्रपोजल विल बी रीड केयरफुली. ओके, research proposal required a good layout, good readability, convincing and promising, attention seeking, good objective, a good methodological orientation. Despite of all things, due to a time pressure, due to the deadline and many other things, okay, it's required a luck that your proposal will be read carefully by one expert or the two experts, and we must convince them. Let me tell you, my experience that I am a part of the UGC review committee or the ICSSR project review committee, but I have not seen, okay, more than 3 members in our committee. And even many of the 3-member committee, okay, we are always, screening our research proposal very, very convincing. We hardly get, 4 to 5 minutes time, okay, behind one proposal. So the proposal which you are submitting, which is, in a sizable number, the experts often get a very, very less time to read it very, very carefully. So now you need to take sufficient care that how you are going to convince your expert that this proposal, is very, very innovative research proposal, a very, very, innovative ideas or essentially required these kinds of the proposal. So one is the content and second is the presentability. That two criteria you all people need to be a focus. Now, there are the chances, and unfortunately, it is the matter of the reality that many of the time research proposals are superficially read by the non-expert people. It means that we people are from the social science background. Okay. If suppose you are from sociology, the unfortunate part and the unfortunate reality is that your proposal will get assessed by the faculty from the economics or the faculty from the political sciences. Because many of the time at the UGC level or at the ICSSR or any funding agency, the people from your desired and expected disciplines, okay, normally but they are not getting the people, okay, on the board, okay, to review your proposal. So there are the chances that the research proposal may get screened, may get assessed, okay, the people from your non-disciplines, and that is the great challenge. So it means that you have to understand the paradigm and the perspective of the social sciences in general and your academic discipline in particular, and you people have to take a sufficient care to convince experts and the non-experts, okay, both of them, that this is the one of the good proposal. So and I already told you that some influential readers, okay, they are the non-expert, and they are having 1 minute maximum time. Okay, so it is called basically as a elevator speech. तो आप लोगों को एक practice करना होगा that you just have imagined that that you are walking with Professor Jagdish Jadhav and you are climbing along with me an elevator, okay, and the building is having the 5 stories. So we both met, okay, whether it's the principal Waq sir or Bankar sir or Ariba ji, okay, or Samullah ji or Sheikh Junaid ji, कि हम लोग ना लिफ्ट में मिले हैं ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे और हम लोग 5वें माले पे जा रहे हैं एंड वी आर जस्ट हैविंग द 45 सेकंड, ओके. तो यू शुड कन्विंस मी योर रिसर्च आइडिया ओनली 45 सेकंड. तो आपको हमेशा ये हैबिट डेवलप करनी होगी कि आप केवल लेस देन 1 मिनट you should convince your audience, okay, that what is the essence of the your research proposal. So unless you are going to prepare yourself for the elevator speech, okay, their chances are very, very less. So let us again focus on common mistakes in proposal writing. But before I take this slide, I just want to the feedback from audience that does this communication or does my presentation is making sense to you? Because I'm सारिका जी बोल रहे हैं सर नाइस सेशन, थैंक यू वेरी मच. ओके, यूज करो चैट बॉक्स, यूज करो. ओके, यू हैव टू बी अ पार्टिसिपेंट्स लर्नर. एब्सोल्युटली फैंटास्टिक विश्वजीत. नहीं, मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं आपकी कमियों के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ. ओके, आई एम पॉइंटिंग आउट योर मिस्टेक्स. तो बहुत बार क्या होता है ना कि जो आदमी मिस्टेक्स के बारे में बात करता है वो अपने को अच्छा नहीं लगता है. इफ आई से दैट यू आर ब्यूटीफुल पीपल, यू आर गुड लुकिंग पीपल, यू आर यंग, डायनेमिक, अच्छे लोग हैं, तो आप बोलेंगे कि भाई आदमी अच्छा है. बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट योर मिस्टेक्स. ओके, so let's continue and what are the common mistakes, okay, that we people are normally committing in our research proposal writing. हम कौन सी गलतियां जो है वो बार बार दोहराते हैं या अक्सर करते हैं जिसके कारण हमारे प्रपोजल फेल हो जाते हैं. सबसे पहली बात जो है जिसका जिक्र मैंने कल किया था कि that many of the research proposal are failing in giving a proper context, okay, or proper either the introduction part or it is called as genesis, okay, it is called um, as a proper theorization. So basic failure of providing a proper context to frame the research questions, okay, that is the issue. In order to enlighten all of you on these points, okay, that what is the contextualization. Okay, contextualization is like that, if suppose today's generation they are playing the 2020 cricket match, although you are talking about the cricket match, but don't talk about the 5 days test match, don't talk about the 50-50. Okay, this is the young generation, okay, they're talking about the 2020 cricket match. So that context is very, very essentially needed. That whether it is your context is a political, your context is a economical, your context is a sociological, your context is basically a social science, your context is is a epidemic health. Okay, even you take the health, okay, but health is having a different paradigm. If you take the economics, okay, from the welfare economics to development economics, it has a different paradigm. So whatever the disciplines, okay, we people are going to submit our research proposal, but we have to, proper contextualize it. So I would request all of you that yesterday I talked now that every day you should spend at least 5 to 10 minutes time just to write a 50 words only. रात को 50 शब्द लिखना है और सुबह 50 शब्दों को एडिट करना है. अगर इस हैबिट को आप महीना भर करोगे, दिस इज माय चैलेंज कि आपका हर महीने में एक आर्टिकल हो जाएगा. इसी संदर्भ में ओके, इन ऑर्डर टू मेक द जुडिशियस यूज ऑफ द वर्ड, देन द फ्रेजोलॉजी, देन द ग्रामर, ओके, तो आपको अच्छा कंसाइज, कॉन्टेक्सचुअलाइज, फोकस्ड, पिन पॉइंटेड रिसर्च क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करने की आदत पड़ जाएगी. सो दैट इज द नॉर्मली अ कॉमन फेल्यूर. Second common mistakes that we all people are committing, that we don't know, what are the boundaries of our research. Okay, because research is a time-bound activity. Any funding agency will give you a fund at least for 1 month, at least for 1 year, at least for 18 months, or at least for 24 months. Okay, so within that 24 months or 18 months or the 12 months, we all people need to finish our research. Okay, so one need to be experts of delimiting the boundaries of the research. But the major problem with the all social science people, and that is why we are not the experts of anything, we are the jack of all. Okay, see, we social work community ना, हम चाइल्ड मैरिजेस के ऊपर भी काम करेंगे, हम एंटी डाउरी के ऊपर भी काम करेंगे, हम ट्यूबरक्लोसिस के ऊपर भी काम करेंगे, हम लोग HIV एड्स के ऊपर भी काम करेंगे, हम गांव में जो जानवरों के जो बीमारियां हैं हम उसके ऊपर भी काम करेंगे, पर्यावरण में भी काम करेंगे, पेड़ पौधों के साथ काम करेंगे, नदी नालों के साथ काम करेंगे, रूरल डेवलपमेंट में काम करेंगे, ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट, अर्बन डेवलपमेंट, ओके, एनीथिंग्स. ओके, सो वी आर वेरी 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 जेनरिक. तो हम लोग मतलब हम किसी चीज के एक्सपर्ट ही नहीं है. ओके, बिकॉज वी नेवर डिलिमिट द बाउंड्रीज ऑफ आवर एकेडमिक एक्सपर्टाइज. So being an academician, okay, we should always emphasize, okay, to develop the expertise, okay, one or the two areas, and for that, you should, understand the delimiting, the boundaries of your research. तो कोई भी रिसर्च के लिए ना, मतलब अगर समय की निश्चितता है, फंडिंग की निश्चितता है, समय सारणी की अपनी एक निश्चितता है, तो आपको आपके रिसर्च का मतलब स्कोप कितना बढ़ाना चाहिए या स्कोप कितना रखना चाहिए, इसके बारे में आपको अच्छा ज्ञान या अच्छा अनुभव होना चाहिए. The third major mistakes, okay, that majority of the good researchers, they are committing that, कि they are basically failing into cite landmark studies. Up, you are very much talking about your research, but while talking about your research, okay, what the other research communities, okay, in a different region, in a different context, in a different geography, in a different locality, what the different kinds of the landmark studies, okay, that have been already pointed out in order to make presentation. तो हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना कि we often talk good about and we are very much loud about ourselves, but we are very confused, okay, and we are very very weak in talking about the others people's work, okay, and that is here it is the importance of the review of literature. So my urge to all of you, okay, that you have to improve the art, okay, for citing the landmark studies that is being done by the other people. Now we often failing basically, okay, in accurate presentations of the theoretical and empirical contribution made by the other researcher. Okay, see, research demand basically two things. One is a proper theoretical orientation, or second is that proper empirical findings that is being done by the other people. रिसर्च दो ही में होगा ना, एक तो कंसेप्चुअल, आपकी जो आइडिया जो है रिसर्च की वो बड़ी नोवेल होनी चाहिए, बड़ी इनोवेटिव होनी चाहिए, बट इट मस्ट बी फिट इनटू अ प्रॉपर थ्योरेटिकल फ्रेमवर्क. तो उसका हमें ध्यान रखना होगा. एंड सेकंडली कि जिस विषय पे हम लोग अध्ययन करने जा रहे हैं, ओके, दैट व्हाट आर द एम्पिरिकल फाइंडिंग्स और एम्पिरिकल कंट्रीब्यूशन, ओके, मेड बाय द अदर रिसर्चर. तो आप कोई भी क्षेत्र में अगर काम कर रहे हो, ओके, nothing new, okay, in the research world, okay, so we have to be humble, we have to be a modest, okay, and we have to always now furthermore, okay, learn the art of the citing the theoretical and the empirical contribution made by the other researcher. दूसरा हमेशा ये होता है, ओके, बीइंग अ वेरी टू जेनरिक पर्सन, ओके, वी आर फेलिंग फोकसिंग ऑन one particular research question. Okay, see, research basically is a focus activity. So we need to focus on the research question. Okay, that my research, these are the, many people don't know the difference between the research objective and the research question. जैसे कल मैंने मतलब दलाई लामा जी का उदाहरण लिया था, या मैंने 80s 16 सेंचुरीज का म्यूजिक का उदाहरण दिया था, ओके, दैट आई वांट टू स्टडी द लाइफ ऑफ द दलाई लामा, ओके, इट इज नॉट अ रिसर्च क्वेश्चन, ओके, basically my research question should be what is the contribution, okay, made by the Dalai Lama, okay, for the people of the Tibet, okay, those who have immigrated from XYZ geographical region, okay. So we are not focusing on the research question, and that is why many of the research proposals are failing. Again, we are failing basically to developing a coherent and a persuasive argument for the research proposal. matlab coherent research is always research proposal is a monolithic activity, okay, it has a connection, okay. हमने कल वो बात किया था ना, ontology, epistemology, methodology, theoretical framework, then the method and the tool, okay, and there has to be some kinds of the coherence, okay, there has to be some kinds of monolithic and homogeneous linkages. मतलब research proposal organic लगना चाहिए, okay, वो organic तभी लगेगा, okay, कि when okay your mind is not fuzzy, okay, पहले mind में जब clarity होगा तो research proposal में clarity आएगा. तो from your research title to the possible value and the possible contribution is going to made by the researcher, ये सारी चीजें क्लियर हो जाएगी. और उसमें ना एक परसुएशन दिखना चाहिए, मतलब जहां से हमने शुरुआत किया है तो अंत तक हमारा रिसर्च प्रपोजल का जो फ्लो जो है वो एक ही ऑर्डर में जाना चाहिए. बहुत बार अक्सर होता है ना कि either there is too much detail on the minor issues, okay, मतलब हम बहुत बार कुछ छोटे छोटे चीजों बारे में इतना लिख डालते हैं, ओके, कि मेजर इश्यूज के बारे में मतलब अच्छा नहीं लगता है. कि सी यू ऑल पीपल आर एग्जामिनर, हम सारे लोग अध्यापक हैं, तो अक्सर क्या होता है ना कि शॉर्ट नोट क्वेश्चन जो होता है वो शॉर्ट नोट क्वेश्चन जैसा ही लिखना चाहिए, और ब्रॉड क्वेश्चन जो है वो ब्रॉड क्वेश्चन जैसा लिखना चाहिए. तो बहुत बार स्टूडेंट्स लोग क्या करते हैं ना कि शॉर्ट नोट में इतना समय गवा देते हैं कि दे आर राइटिंग द शॉर्ट नोट क्वेश्चंस लाइक द बिग क्वेश्चंस. लेकिन शॉर्ट नोट के लिए अगर 5 मार्क है तो हम उसको आउट ऑफ 5 4 ही दे सकते हैं, या 4.5 दे सकते हैं, या 5 आउट ऑफ 5 दे सकते हैं, लेकिन 10 नहीं दे सकते है ना. तो शॉर्ट नोट को शॉर्ट नोट जैसा ही लिखना चाहिए, एंड लार्जर क्वेश्चन जो है उसको उसका जैसा लिखना चाहिए. तो बहुत बार रिसर्च प्रपोजल में ऐसा होता है, ओके, द मेजर रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस, ओके, we are not providing a substantial attention, okay, for the major research question, and we jumbled into a very minor question. Then we are lacking in a proper citation, we are not giving appropriate references, okay, sometimes we are writing too long, sometimes writing too short. मतलब कुछ लोग 2 या 3 पेज का रिसर्च प्रपोजल बनाते हैं, इट इज नॉट रिसर्च प्रपोजल, ओके, 2 या 3 पेज का कंसेप्ट नोट होता है. और कुछ लोग 30-40 पेजेस का रिसर्च प्रपोजल बनाते हैं, लेकिन 30-40 पेजेस का तो डिसर्टेशन होता है. तो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, ओके, कि हाउ टू write a very proper research proposal. So I do hope that this slide might have made sense to all of you, that what are the common mistakes, okay, made by the research proposal community. Again, now I'm asking all of you, okay, does this slide make sense to all of you? Your answer is yes, please type Y. Okay, if your answer is a no, please type no. आनंद भालेराव जी, ठीक चल रहा है हमारा? आनंद राव जी बात कीजिए.
Sir, he can't mute on himself.
अच्छा, all they are okay, fine, understood. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I understood. Okay. So basically, these are the common mistakes that we all people are making this common sort of mistake. Now, अब हमें क्या करना चाहिए? Okay, अगर हमें अच्छा रिसर्च प्रपोजल लिखना है, okay, तो इट इज लाइक अबाउट द मैरिज. ओके, हम लोग मैरिज में क्या करते हैं ना, जितना हमारा ध्यान, मतलब अगर आप लड़की है तो आपका लड़के के ऊपर रहता है, और अगर आप लड़का है तो लड़की के ऊपर रहता है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ हम ध्यान देते हैं कि परिवार कौन सा है, ओके, बिरादरी कौन सी है, समाज कौन सा है, आर्थिक परिस्थितियां कौन सी है, ओके. तो उसी प्रकार से whenever you are going to write a research proposal, okay, you please understand that who is your funding agency, okay. Unless you are going to understand your funding agency, okay, you will not write a good research proposal. बहुत बार क्या होता है ना कि रिसर्च फंडिंग के अपने कुछ प्रायोरिटाइज एरियाज होते हैं, ओके, अपना कुछ एक स्टाइल होता है, अपना कुछ एक प्रॉपर फ्रेमवर्क होता है, ओके. तो ईच फंडिंग एजेंसी is governed by their mandate, by their style, by their requirement, by their template. Okay. And from that point of view, you please understand your funding agency. If suppose you are writing proposal to ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, तो ऑब्वियसली मतलब उनका लिखने का या उनका रिसर्च प्रपोजल का एक अलग स्टाइल है. ओके, इट शुड नॉट बी मैच विद द ICHR. ओके, वो कोई हिस्टोरिकल रिसर्च नहीं है तो, और ये कोई मतलब सोशल साइंस रिसर्च नहीं है. तो यू प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड वेदर यू आर सबमिटिंग योर प्रपोजल टू ICMR, टू ICHR, टू ICSSR, टू ICCR, okay, to the UGC, to AICTE, to the United Nations funding agencies, okay, or to the, some kinds of the bilateral funding agencies like the different embassies, or the agencies like, the Oxfords and something like that. So you please understand, okay, the funding agency, that who is your funding agency, and without understanding the funding agency of your to be grant or grantee organization, you will not move ahead. Please understand the system, pedagogy and expertise involved. Okay, normally ना हर funding agencies की अपनी एक पद्धति होती है, अपनी एक व्यवस्था होती है, और अपने एक subject expert list की एक उनके पास list होती है. It required only 5 to 10 minutes time. मतलब दुर्भाग्य का बात ये होता है ना कि as short sighted people, जब हमारे पास अच्छा रिसर्च प्रपोजल लिखने के लिए समय नहीं है, okay, then how you will understand, okay, to focus on these kinds of the thing. So, we need to understand, okay, the different system, then the pedagogy and the expertise involved in that. So, please do believe, okay, in promising works. बहुत बार क्या होता है ना कि वाक सर बोलते हैं कि सर मैंने वो ICSSR को प्रपोजल सबमिट किया है, तो आपके कोई जान पहचान वाले हैं क्या? ओके, इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है, ओके, टू डेवलप द एकेडमिक नेटवर्क, ओके, but before believing diplomacy and advocacy, we must believe in a promising work. Okay, without that promising work, okay, see, देखिए, अगर मैं आप लोगों को कहूंगा कि सपोज मैं ये सुभाष पोले साहब जो है, या आनंद भालेराव जी है, या अरिबा जी है, मैं उनको बोलूंगा कि आप मुझे वाइस चांसलर बना दो. ओके, तो बट ऑब्वियसली इवन दो यू लाइक माय कैंडिडेचर, बट आई वेरी वेल नो दैट, ओके, आप मुझे पहला सवाल बोलोगे कि सर प्रोफेसर बनकर आपको कितने साल हुए हैं. Okay, so unless as a professor I am going to complete my 10 years, okay, you will not recommend my candidature. So it means that basic requisite should be there, na? Before you people are going to give me recommendation. In the same order, okay, you have to believe, okay, in your promising works. आपको basic जो quality work का जो demand है, उसमें आपको विश्वास रखना ही पड़ेगा. And my furthermore point is that, and that is the major problem with the academic community, and I'm sorry to use one a rubbish word, okay, that we all people are highly arrogant. Okay, हम सारे academic community के दो बड़े problem है. Okay, एक तो हम highly arrogant है, या फिर हम highly secretive है. Okay, what is wrong basically, seeking the help. Okay, हम सारे मतलब चीजों में प्रवीण नहीं हो सकते हैं. We cannot be experts of all. Okay, so let us do believe, okay, in seeking the help. Okay, and let us do believe that we cannot be experts of the all. मतलब अगर वाक सर का अगर एक टीम है, तो कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है कि some people may be good in framing the research question, some people may be experts of the research methodology, some people may be good designing the different kinds of the tools of data collection. So one person cannot be good in all, okay, and that is why we should not hesitate, okay, in seeking the help. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, लोग आपका मजाक उड़ाएंगे कि आपको इतना भी नहीं आता है, आपको ये काम करना भी नहीं आता है. But my humble submission and my humble request to all of you, okay, that please do believe, okay, in seeking the helps, okay, from anyone. Okay, they may be your student, they may be your contemporary colleagues, okay, they may be your seniors, okay, they may be the people from the different academic walk. Okay, and आखिरी इस स्लाइड में मेरा आप लोगों से निवेदन ये है, ओके, कि कम से कम आप लोगों ने 20 अच्छे रिसर्च प्रपोजल पढ़ने चाहिए. ओके, बिफोर राइटिंग अ गुड प्रॉमिसिंग एंड एक्सेलेंट रिसर्च प्रपोजल. हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना कि हम लोग पढ़ते कम है और लिखते भी कम है. ओके, विदाउट रीडिंग अ गुड रिसर्च प्रपोजल, ओके, how we can move ahead. Let me give one personal anecdote, okay, from my personal life. Okay, as I am from vernacular background, okay, I studied in a Marathi medium, okay, English is not my language at all, okay, we studied basically, I can speak Hindi it's only because of the influence of the Hindi cinema. हम सारे लोगों का हिंदी जो है ना वो हिंदी सिनेमा देख देख के इम्प्रूव हुआ है एंड सेम ऑर्डर अवर इंग्लिश ओके बट हाउ डू आई इम्प्रूव माई इंग्लिश और हाउ डू आई डेवलप अ लिटिल बिट मास्टरी ओवर द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लैंग्वेज क्योंकि मेरे एक हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट है ओके एंड वेरी फॉन्डली आई एम रिमेम्बरिंग हिज नेम प्रोफेसर विलास बेल सोलापुर फ्रॉम वेयर आई स्टार्टेड माई एकेडमिक करियर तो उनका ड्राफ्टिंग स्किल बहुत अच्छा हुआ करता था ओके तो मैं क्या करता था वो जो भी कुछ लेटर लिखते थे ना उसको आई यूज टू बोरो फ्रॉम हिम और मैं घर जाके अपना पेन का अच्छा इस्तेमाल करके वो लेटर का मैं 10 बार 15 बार 20 बार कॉपी करता था आई यूज टू राइट दैट एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट कॉपिंग फ्रॉम द ओरिजिनल लेटर it improve my handwriting okay it's improve my administrative English okay it improve my perspective and I'm thankful to that person तो अगर आपको अच्छा रिसर्च प्रपोजल अगर लिखना है my urge to all of you that you please read at least a 20 research proposal okay and then you please start a good your own proposal okay yeah does this making sense to you answer is yes or no shall I continue okay you can use the chat box या बनकर साहब बोल रही है सुष्मिता बोल रही है ओके और दो चार लोग ओके या गुड 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 थैंक यू इसका मतलब है आप लोग मुझे सुन रहे हो मैंने अक्सर मतलब इस ऑनलाइन प्रक्रिया में देखा है कि लोग मतलब सेशन में जुड़ जाते हैं और कुछ लोग किचन का काम करते हैं कुछ लोग कपड़े धोने का काम करते हैं कुछ लोग वगैरह वगैरह और व्हाट्सएप को बोलते हैं सर हमने सेशन अटेंड कर लिया सर्टिफिकेट भेज दो या नाउ बेसिकली व्हाट शैल वी डू हमें क्या करना है the keys to writing strong research proposal are okay अच्छा research proposal हमने कैसे लिखना चाहिए number 1 to formulate a precise and interesting research question okay this may take little time okay but if you become basically this kinds of more open-ended inquiry and criteria then there are the chances okay that your research proposal would be entertained तो हमें अच्छे प्रिसाइज और इंटरेस्टिंग रिसर्च क्वेश्चन जो है वो बनाने की अभी हैबिट डेवलप करनी है ओके दैट इज अ की फॉर राइटिंग अ गुड स्ट्रॉन्ग रिसर्च प्रपोजल अब तक मैंने क्या नहीं करना चाहिए इसके बारे में बात किया बट नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग व्हाट वी सपोज टू डू ओके सो वी सपोज टू डू ओके टू डेवलप द हैबिट okay or to develop the expertise in writing a very precise and very interesting research question then we all people need to develop the expertise in establishing the relevance and the values okay of our research question to the context of the current academic thinking जैसे मैंने कल कहा था कि 20वीं सदी के लोग 19वीं सदी का सिलेबस 21वीं सदी के विद्यार्थियों को पढ़ाते हैं ओके तो इट मींस दैट देयर इज नो कोहेरेंस ओके देयर इज नो कंटिन्यूटी और देयर इज नो फ्लो ओके सो फॉर राइटिंग अ गुड रिसर्च प्रपोजल ओके करंट एकेडमिक थिंकिंग व्हाट इज द करंट एकेडमिक थिंकिंग मतलब प्रचलित जो हमारी एकेडमिक जगत की जो सोच जो है उसके बारे में हमें अपने आप को अवगत करना होगा तो उसके लिए ना आपको 2 हैबिट डेवलप करनी होगी पहला हैबिट ये है ओके यू हैव टू रीड एनी इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस ओके एंड पर्टिकुलरली द एडिट पेज it may be the Indian Express it may be the Times of India it may be the Hindustan Time it may be the Hindu whatever okay see I am not advocating any Hindi paper or any regional paper okay because nowadays many of the all newspapers okay they develop their political lineage okay so there is no academic serious discourses are taking place in newspaper and that's why what is the current academic thinking जैसे कल ना एक नया एक ड्राफ्ट आया है ओके मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन की मतलब आने वाले समय में अध्यापकों की what should be their minimum qualification from vice chancellor to assistant professor okay so that's the current discourses and unfortunately except the leading newspaper in Marathi Lok Satta and Sakal okay नो वन हैज टेकन द कॉग्निजेंस. ओके. और हिंदी वाले लोग तो मतलब इन सारे एकेडमिक डिस्कोर्स से काफी दूर है. ओके. So in order to, establish the relevance, okay, and the value, we always need, relate this context with the current academic thinking. Then we must, describe and evaluate, okay, the data, okay, of the source material that our research require. तो मुझे जिस विषय पर मेरा रिसर्च प्रपोजल सबमिट करना है, उसके बारे में आई हैव टू स्पेंड सफिशिएंट टाइम, ओके, reviewing the source material. It may be, a different handbook, different manual, different books, different research articles. Okay. So one has to spend a sufficient time basically to evaluate basically the sources which are available. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना कि आप ये कहेंगे कि the manual or the handbook or research article would be an outcome of my research proposal. But if it's already available in an academic world and the experts and the funding agency, okay, if they know, okay, they will certainly not entertain your research proposal. So you must develop the familiarity. अगर आपको उस चीजें के बारे में पता है तो आप ये कह सकते हो कि पहले लोगों ने इस प्रकार का काम किया है, हम उस काम को और एडवांस लेवल पे लेके जाना चाहते हैं, and our proposal is for that. Okay, but we must be aware that what other people are doing. Then to outline a clear and a practical methodology, okay, which will help, all of us to answer the research question. तो कल जो हमने बात की थी, ओके, वहां पर इसका यहाँ पर एक स्पष्टीकरण है कि हमारी मेथोडोलॉजी जो है रिसर्च प्रपोजल की, ओके, इट मस्ट बी, वेरी वेरी क्लियर, ओके, एंड वेरी वेरी प्रैक्टिकल. मतलब हमारा रिसर्च क्वेश्चन है 1 साल वाला और मेथोडोलॉजी है लॉन्गिट्यूडनल वाली, तो ये कोई मेल नहीं खाएगा. सो वी ऑल पीपल नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी clear and very practical about the methodology. And finally, we also need to suggest, that how my discovery or how my, exploration is going to add, okay, the further research or the new areas, okay, that is going to help all of us. So there are few more points, okay, in continuation. So again, delimiting the scope, my request to all of you, okay, that our research proposal, okay, if it gets sanctioned, it should not be, more longer than the 3 years. मतलब हमारा research proposal की जो research की जो आयु होनी चाहिए from date of the sanctioning to date of the completion of the writing, it should not, invite more than 3 years time, because nowadays whatever the funding agencies, they are not interested in launching a longitudinal research, okay, unless it is the health research or ICMR studies and something like that. तो सोशल साइंसेस के रिसर्च जो हमें करने होते हैं वो कम से कम 1 साल या ज्यादा से ज्यादा 3 साल तक पूरे करने होते हैं. तो whenever, we are going to provide a time framework, क्योंकि हम जितना ज्यादा समय लेंगे रिसर्च करने के लिए उतना हम ज्यादा ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज डिप्लॉय करेंगे, और फिर क्या होगा कि रिसर्च से भी ज्यादा पैसा जो है that we are wasting on basically sustaining the human resources. So that is not the welcome phenomena. Then we should also focus on that why we required, the qualified and the capable people. Because many of the time, if suppose I'm not an anthropologist, but I'm very much fond of doing, either the anthropological research and something like that. So as a part of my research, I wish to, hire the services from the qualified and the capable anthropologist. Okay, so you should, uh, judiciously explain or judiciously underline that why, we require the qualified, okay, and capable people for conducting these kinds of the research. Then again, we have to give a proper justification that how, my institution, okay, and if you are a PhD scholar, how you, a supervisor that you have consciously selected, okay, as a matter of the guidance, and how these people are the appropriate for your research. So we have to give a justification. If suppose my beloved colleagues, okay, they are from the Saraswati College, okay, they must give a justification, that, how they have located in one particular districts of the Marathwada region, okay, how this is the team of the, people from the different walks of the life, okay, and how they are expertising, how their institution, how previously, these people have done something. So we also need to talk about basically our research team, our institution, and we should give a proper justification for writing a good research proposal. Then we also need to express our sensitivity to the current research aims, okay, in a higher education funding. Okay, it means that our research priorities or our research area, okay, should be on the par line of the other academic discourses. Suppose right now we are talking about Viksit Bharat at the rate of 75, matlab 2047. So our action should be going that perspective only. Nowadays, country are talking about skilling India. So we should focus on that agenda also. We are celebrating, suppose, the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. So our proposal should be on that lines also. So we must understand, okay, ki what are the basically current research aims of the higher education sector. Because every funding agency, whether it is ICSS or the UGC, ओके वेदर इट इज अ प्लान प्रोसेस, मतलब पहला वाला प्लान कमीशन और आज का नीति आयोग, उनके ना आने वाले 5 सालों के लिए ना कुछ रिसर्च मैंडेट या फिर देश की विकास की रीति निश्चित करने वाले कुछ गोल होते हैं, कुछ मैंडेट होती है, कुछ अवधारणा होती है. तो अवर रिसर्च प्रपोजल ओके should go hand in hand with them. If you are doing hand in hand with them, then there are the chances, okay, that your research proposal would be entertained. So to do, all the above, okay, in a very concise, unambiguous, okay, in a grammatical manner. मतलब आपके पास बहुत सारी चीजों की क्लैरिटी है, बट इफ यू आर इलेबरेटिव देन देयर वुड बी अ प्रॉब्लम. ओके, अगर आपके लेवल पे एम्बिग्युइटी है, मतलब साशंकता है या फिर क्लैरिटी नहीं है, इफ यू प्रपोज इज अनएम्बिगुअस, मतलब वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तो मामला गड़बड़ा जाएगा. एंड सेकेंडली, वी हैव टू write in a very simple, understandable, like that. I do believe that speaking in English like a Marathi, although I'm talking in a English language, okay, but I'm very humble and very grounded, okay, that I should not, express myself that how knowledgeable and how talented person I am. Okay, we should be, very humble and very, very grounded people like that. So what the other questions that research proposal must be addressed, मतलब और ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं कि जिसके ऊपर हम लोगों ने अधिक ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है. पहली बात तो ये है, ओके, कि व्हाट इज योर प्लान टू अकम्प्लिश. ओके, इट इज नॉट अबाउट द ओनली राइटिंग a good methodology, it's a good objective and something like that, but what is the plan of the accomplishment. आप ये काम कौन से समय पे डिटरमाइंडेडली, निश्चितता से आप कैसे पूरा करोगे. बिकॉज रिसर्च प्रपोजल ऑलवेज डिमांड basically a research plan, and we should reserve some time for disseminating our research finding, okay, to create some kinds of the public discourse over it. That is the ultimate purpose of academic research. And one question we all people need to address, okay, that why you want to do it. Okay, where thousands of people are already involved, okay, which are scattered across the country, or how unique we people are going to be. Okay, so why we want to do this proposal, okay, this question must be addressed. Secondly, how you are going to do it, हम लोग इसको कैसे पूरे करने जा रहे हैं, something like that. So these kinds of what, why and how, if you could respond this question, okay, with the greater clarity, in a very precise and in very objective language, then there are the chances, okay, that our proposal would be entertained by the funding agency. Then proposal should have a sufficient information to convince your reader that you have an important research idea, okay, and you are having good graphs about the good literature. तो हमारा रिसर्च प्रपोजल उस इतना लेवल का होना चाहिए कि दैट शुड गिव कॉन्फिडेंस टू द इवैल्यूएटर, कॉन्फिडेंस टू द फंडिंग एजेंसी, कि भाई ये जिनको हम रिसर्च प्रपोजल सैंक्शन करने जा रहे हैं वो लोग नॉलेजेबल है, उन लोगों को थोड़ा सा मेथोडोलॉजी का ज्ञान है, विषय के ऊपर उनकी अच्छी पकड़ है, उनकी कमिटमेंट है, उनका प्रीवियस वर्क है, और ये लोग जो भी फंड इनको दिया जाएगा उसके साथ पूर्णता न्याय करेंगे और एक अच्छा खासा एक नया रिसर्च लेके हमारे सामने आएंगे. अगर इन सारे सवालों का जवाब अगर आपके इवैल्यूएटर्स को, आपके रिव्यूअर्स को अगर हाँ लगता है, अच्छा लगता है, तो मुझे लगता है कि वी ऑल पीपल आर developing the art of writing a good research proposal. Yeah. So regardless, our research area, whatever the methodology, we should not compromise, writing a quality research proposal. Okay, the quality is always demanded in research proposal. So please don't compromise, with the quality aspects. मतलब करना है इसलिए नहीं करना है. Okay, don't do last minute work. Okay, जो भी हमें करना है, okay, वो हमेशा अच्छा ही करना है. Okay, either हमें करना, मतलब करना है तो अच्छा करना है. Otherwise, leave it for this 2025. Okay, unless you develop, मास्टरी ओवर इट, ऐसा नहीं करना है. सो अ गुड रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट may run the risk of the rejection. Okay, simply because of proposals are poorly written. मैंने जो कहा है ना, रिसर्च आइडिया कितनी भी आपकी इनोवेटिव और कितनी भी अच्छी क्यों ना हो, ओके, बट अनलेस वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइट, ओके, इन अ प्रॉपर ऑर्डर, it is not going to provide us an idea. Is it making sense to you? Anyone? क्योंकि अभी मैं now I'm going to focus on basically the template of the research proposal. अभी मैं कुछ दो चार स्लाइड इसके बारे में प्रेजेंट करने जा रहा हूँ कि कैसे लिखना है, what precaution should we take. Okay, yeah, few comments. Audience, you need to be participative. Yeah, only Sakshi mentioned. Sakshi only saying yes, sir. Okay. Other than Sakshi, no one is here. Okay, Komal saying yes. Okay, only yes, 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 yes. Okay, I take it that you people are listening. चलो, कोई बात नहीं. Now, what precaution should we take? तो पहली बात तो ये है कि रिसर्च हमेशा शुरू होगा रिसर्च टाइटल से. ओके, तो रिसर्च टाइटल हमेशा कैसे लिखना है, उसका सिंपल तरीका ये है, ओके, कि टाइटल हमेशा कंसाइज होना चाहिए, डिस्क्रिप्टिव होना चाहिए, इंफॉर्मेटिव होना चाहिए, बट कैची होना चाहिए. ओके, तो आपको इसका ना थोड़ा सा अभ्यास करना होगा. और जैसे मैंने कल कहा था कि वी शुड नॉट टेक, वी शुड नॉट यूज मोर देन 10 वर्ड्स. ओके, सो फॉर राइटिंग a good research title, okay, it must have this kinds of 3-4 values. वो कंसाइज भी होना चाहिए, लेकिन वो डिस्क्रिप्टिव भी होना चाहिए, वो इंफॉर्मेटिव भी होना चाहिए, लेकिन वो कैची भी होना चाहिए. क्योंकि रिसर्च टाइटल ही वो चीज होती है, ओके, कि दैट गैदर्स, ओके, द अटेंशन ऑफ द रीडर. सो एन इफेक्टिव टाइटल, ओके, नॉट ओनली प्रिक्स द रीडर्स इंटरेस्ट, but also predisposes, okay, to favorably consider your proposal. तो हमेशा वो जो लव एट फर्स्ट साइट वाला जो मामला होता है ना, तो आपका रिसर्च का टाइटल इट इज लव एट फर्स्ट साइट. ओके, वो इतना टेम्पटिंग होना चाहिए दैट पीपल शुड फॉल इन लव विथ योर रिसर्च टाइटल. तो आप लोग इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखेंगे. तो ऑल रिसर्च प्रपोजल, ओके, इज ऑलवेज बिगिन विद एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. लोग आपको पूछेंगे या ना पूछेंगे, ओके, बट यू प्लीज राइट. जैसे रिसर्च आर्टिकल में 75 वर्ड्स इज द मिनिमम वर्ड्स, ओके, गिवन बाय द डिफरेंट जर्नल. रिसर्च प्रपोजल का समरी जो है वो हमेशा 300 का होना चाहिए. ओके, एंड बिफोर पीपल जंप इनटू before people actually jump into reading your research proposal, okay, you should provide an opportunity to your evaluator, okay, to go through your summary. So it must include, the research question, the rationale, the hypothesis, the method, the major findings, then description about the methods, okay, including design, procedure, sample, instrument, something like that, and the possible value of the research. तो इस प्रकार का अगर आप abstract लिखने का आदत अगर आप डेवलप करोगे, तो टाइटल के बाद जरूरी होगा हमारा एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. या सो देन इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है किसी भी चीज के लिए, ओके, दैट इज द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ आवर रिसर्च. Okay. And the background of the research, okay, is to basically introducing to the your evaluator or to the people those who are part of the funding agency, that how we have framed the research problem, okay, and that is the biggest problem in contemporary world. So we all people need to uh, do some kinds of the practice for defining, the main purpose of the introduction, okay, is to provide the necessity or the necessary of our research problem. ये थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करने से आ जाएगा कि व्हाट इज कॉन्टेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज रैशनल, व्हाट इज बैकग्राउंड, व्हाट इज रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम, व्हाट इज रिसर्च क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज रिसर्च ऑब्जेक्टिव। ये शब्द थोड़े से सिमिलर लगते हैं, ओके, लेकिन इसके जो अर्थ जो है और इसके भावार्थ जो है वो थोड़े थोड़े से अलग है। Then we should focus basically on the research question. And research question, need to be placed, okay, in the context of the current and the focus research area. It must be evident, it must be significant. And majority of the things, okay, it's depending upon our creativity. So our practice will help all of us to develop our ability to think very, very, clearly, and in due course of time, we will develop in-depth understanding about framing the research question. Now, before I go on a last slide, okay, this would be our second last slide, okay. The finally, what precaution, okay, for writing a research proposal, okay, as a part of the main body, where we should focus on. We also need to be focused on the design. Okay. Is it a questionnaire-based study? Okay. Or is it a laboratory experiments? Okay. What kinds of the design, okay, that we people are going to choose? Okay. So our research proposal should talk about, okay, whether it is a descriptive nature, whether it is the exploratory research, whether it is the explanatory research, whether it is the action-based research, something like that. Is it going to, happen in a laboratory, okay, or is it going to be a survey method? So what kinds of the design, okay, going to be instrument or going to be adopted in our research, we should focus on that. Then, who are going to be the participants of our research? Okay. Who will be the subject? Okay. Who will take the part in our study? And what kinds of the sampling procedure we are going to use in our research? So the clarity about the participants, clarity about the subject, it means that the clarity about the sampling procedure, the researcher must have. Then how we are going to instrument it means that, are we going to deploy the case study method? Are we going to deploy the survey method? Are we going to deploy the questionnaire method? Okay, that why and how? Okay, and what is valid and what is reliable? That all, that what other things are essentially needed in this. So, as a research proposal is needed, equally the clarity about its instrumentation. Okay, that how we are going to instrument it, that is also very, very needed. And finally, the thing is that what procedures that we are going to adopt. मतलब whether if it is a focus group discussion, तो हम कैसे गांव में जाएंगे, क्या ग्राम सभा होगी, ग्राम सभा में से कुछ लोग चुने जाएंगे, ओके, हमें कितना समय लगेगा, कौन कौन सी गतिविधियां हम उसमें सम्मिलित करेंगे. तो वी शुड also talk about the procedure. So if you are having clarity from the title, then context, then rationale, then the question, then the sampling, then design, okay, then instrument and procedure, अगर इन सारी चीजों के बारे में अगर क्लैरिटी होता है, ओके, तो हमारा रिसर्च प्रपोजल बहुत अच्छा होता है. Now, before inviting your comments or we stop for the discussion, my last slide says that it is very, very important to convince your reader of the potential impact of your proposed research. मतलब फंडिंग एजेंसीज या इवेल्यूटर को यह लगना चाहिए कि it is going to be impact the potential research then we need to communicate the sense of enthusiasm and the confidence, okay, without exaggerating the merit of your proposal. मतलब हमारे research proposal में से, because nowadays many of the funding agencies are calling us for a presentation. तो हमारे presentation से या हमारे written communication में हम लोग ये research proposal करने के लिए हमारे पास ना केवल प्रतिभा है, लेकिन हमारे पास वो आत्मविश्वास भी है. इसका प्रक्षेपण जो है वो अतिशयोक्तियों को मतलब चीजों को चढ़ा बढ़ा के हम्बली एंड पोलाइटली वो लोगों के सामने आना चाहिए. We also need to talk about the limitations and the weaknesses of our research. We are going to work in only Marathwada region, but there is the Konkan, there is the Vidarbha, there is the Western Maharashtra, okay, and the other part of that. So we should talk about some kinds of the geographical limitation. We can't about the sampling limitation. We can talk about this kinds of the other limitation. तो हमारी research proposal की limitations क्या है और क्या क्या के weakness हो सकते हैं, but that need to be justified with the time and the financial constraint, okay, that need to be a project like that. And if we take all these kinds of sufficient care in all these affairs, then I have a confidence, okay, that our research proposal be a good research proposal. So finally, it is a matter of the practice. Okay, if you indulge in an everyday practice, then your practice will certainly make you, a good and a perfect researcher. See, research is not about basically what any kinds of the ICSE workshop, they can give you only a 30% idea ki what is research. Okay, but that's only 30%. Okay, research is a matter of a skill. Research is a matter of the practice, और वो 70% होता है. तो हमारे किसी भी इस प्रकार की कार्यशाला में ओके केवल 30% काम होता है, ओके, जस्ट टू मेक यू पीपल ओरिएंट. लेकिन बचा हुआ जो 70% काम जो होता है वो हमें घर जाके या फिर अपने अपने कार्य क्षेत्रों में जाकर या अपने अपनी शैक्षिक संस्था में जाकर करना होता है. So in conclusion, okay, I have a strong faith, okay, in your academic scholarship, in your academic enthusiasm, that you all people will do justice with yourself or with the research mandate you people have undertaken. So this was from the my side. Okay, if you are having any question, okay, I am ready to discuss with you. So I'm inviting Vak sir. ओके, नरेंद्र जी बोल रहे हैं एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लिखने की आवश्यकता है क्या इफ आई परसीव्ड हिम. ओके, यस यस, ओके, किसी भी रिसर्च प्रपोजल में अगर आपका पहला पन्ना जो है इफ इट इज अबाउट द एब्स्ट्रैक्ट वेरी कंसाइज ऑफ द 300 वर्ड्स, ओके, that will provide opportunity to your reviewer to understand the whole research in totality. जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा है कि reviewer they are having a very limited time. Okay, they are hardly having 1 minute or the 2 minutes or 1 or 2 minutes में hardly 150 या 200 शब्द पढ़ के हो जाते हैं. तो from that point of view you must develop the habit of writing abstracts also. Nowadays even in at my institutions, okay, हमारे PhD thesis का भी हम लोगों से abstract लिखवा लेते हैं. Yes, 2 participants raise their hand. Sir, आप अभी आप इसको moderate कीजिए. Yeah, WhatsApp.
सर मैं सबको अनम्यूट कर देता एक बार, अगर
जी.
किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है फिर वो आपसे इंटरेक्ट कर पाएंगे. They also can unmute themselves.
Yeah. Okay, this is a question by Lakshmi कि abstract can write on literature basis. No. Lakshmi, okay, today we are talking about basically research proposal. Okay, so this abstract is basis on the research proposal. We in discussion I talk about the methodology, about the possible value of our research. Okay, your rationale, how it is going to benefit to the entire research community, something like that. So it is an abstract of the entire research proposal, not of the literature. Did I respond question, Lakshmi ji? Oh, she is saying okay, sir. Yeah.
अरे एक बार वो प्रिकॉशन वाला जो पोर्शन है थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आया। थोड़ा
प्रिकॉशन
एक
वाला
बार दो।
मतलब?
प्रिकॉशन प्रिकॉशन जो है रिसर्च टाइटल लिखने के वाला,
हम्म।
वो समझ में नहीं आया सर, थोड़ा दोहराइए।
ओके, देखिए मैंने प्रिकॉशन ये कहा कि रिसर्च टाइटल के बारे में अगर आप पूछ रहे हो तो हमारा रिसर्च टाइटल जो है ना वो हमेशा कंसाइज भी होना चाहिए, डिस्क्रिप्टिव भी होना चाहिए, इंफॉर्मेटिव भी होना चाहिए और कैची भी होना चाहिए। वो
फॉर
इसलिए
एग्जाम्पल।
वो इसलिए होना चाहिए क्योंकि हमेशा रिव्यूअर का ध्यान जो जाता है वो पहले आपके रिसर्च टाइटल के ऊपर जाता है। तो टाइटल इंटरेस्टिंग लगना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर आपका टाइटल अच्छा है तो आपका प्रपोजल उठाया जाएगा। तो प्रपोजल जब उठाया जाएगा तो उसको टाइटल पढ़ा जाएगा, और टाइटल पढ़ने के बाद अगर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट अच्छा लगा तो आपके प्रपोजल का रिव्यू हो जाएगा। अगर ये चीजें नहीं होती है तो आपका रिसर्च प्रपोजल बाजू रखा जाएगा। दैट वाज द पॉइंट।
राइट सर, थैंक यू सर।
Hello, sir.
ओके।
Uh,
हाँ
Namaste, sir. I am from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, Department Research Scholar, Department of Social Work. My name is Narendra Kumar.
जी,
I'm audible, sir.
you're audible, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Sir, I write a question. I want to know about abstract. What the researcher should add in abstract, as you told methodology, and what are the points?
See, very categorically, today we are talking about how to write a research proposal. So when we are talking about writing a research proposal, it should be the abstract of the research proposal. It is
Yeah,
not a research article. Okay.
yeah, I
It
am
is not a
understanding.
PhD, it is not a PhD thesis. Okay. So you should spend 2 line contextualization, provide 1 line on a rationale, provide 2 line about the methodology, then
Okay.
jump onto the soul of your research proposal, that how your research proposal is unique, how it is going to benefit the scientific and the academic community, how it is going to add the value in the existing knowledge body, and how it is going to impact or be useful for the policy makers. तो ऐसी मतलब एक 17 18 14 15 लाइन में अगर आप इन 10 सवालों का जवाब देंगे, इट्स बिकम एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट।
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
जी नरेंद्र,
As well as thanks, sir, for this wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू। या या
Excuse me, sir. I'm Dr. Vasanta Gauri.
या
Sir, I have already put the question in the chat box also. Is it necessary that research proposal should be specifically on one subject of social science only? Or that generally all social sciences do suffer certain common problems. So that way, can a research proposal be written?
No, Vasanta, probably, you yourself is responding to your question. Okay, see, if the funding agency, if they are having a certain mandate, if on their own they are inviting a research proposal for addressing a specific question, so obviously, we should address the specific research question. Okay. So whether so in a concise research proposal should have a specific objective. Okay. It should be
Okay.
focused on specific
Specific,
subject. Yeah,
specific
specific.
subject only.
Specific,
Okay.
that's why the word smart is there, no?
Yes,
Smart,
sir.
yes, stand for specific, measurable, the attractive, reasonable, and time bound. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
it's a smart philosophy. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
थैंक यू। ये बलिराम जी का एक सवाल है दैट हाउ मेनी मैक्सिमम हाइपोथेसिस कैन बी टेक इन रिसर्च प्रपोजल। ओके, इट्स डिपेंडिंग अबाउट व्हाट काइंड्स ऑफ द रिसर्च you are undertaking. If your research proposal is a deploying qualitative method, okay, then you will respond to research question. But if you are doing a quantitative research, okay, then 2 and 3 hypotheses are sufficient. Okay. हाइपोथेसिस कितने होने चाहिए ना, इसके लिए रिसर्च नहीं होता है। व्हाट इज योर रिसर्च टॉपिक एंड व्हाट काइंड्स ऑफ द रिसर्च क्वेश्चन यू आर गोइंग टू एड्रेस, accordingly you can frame your research hypothesis. When write the research proposal, how to create a issue in minor and major. तो मैं जो समझ रहा हूँ लक्ष्मी जी, आप ये तो कहना नहीं चाहते हैं कि मतलब व्हाट इज माइनर रिसर्च एंड व्हाट इज मेजर रिसर्च? Okay. You are saying yes, sir. Okay. So minor research, can be, if I understand from the ICSSR perspective or from the funding agency perspective, the minor research, okay, which can be completed within the short span of the time with the limited funding, okay, that can be completed, with less than 12 months. Okay, such project falls under the minor research category. The research basically deployed, high quality manpower, required substantial time framework, okay, and having some impactful research, okay, which come under the major research category. But for me, whether it is a minor research or the major research, research is a research, okay. दोनों के लिए आपको उतना ही रिगोरियस और उतना ही साउंड एकेडमिशियन होना ही पड़ेगा. आई एम सीरियस फॉर द बोथ. ओके, मतलब माइनर रिसर्च है तो मेरा सीरियसनेस माइनर होना चाहिए, और मेजर है तो इसलिए मैंने ज्यादा सीरियस होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं है. बोथ थिंग्स, ओके, दैट इज जस्ट सिंपल क्राइटेरिया, माइनर एंड मेजर. ओके, बट एज एन एकेडमिशियन, एज ए रिसर्चर, मैं उतना ही गंभीरता से दोनों चीजों को करूंगा. ओके, लक्ष्मी सिंह. ओके सर, या. माधुरी पावड़े जी, आपका सवाल समझ में नहीं आया. आपने कहा द रिसर्च प्रपोजल सबमिटेड देन हाइपोथेसिस रिकंस्ट्रक्ट, समझ में नहीं आया. यू नीड टू टॉक, आपको बात करनी पड़ेगी. आप कहना क्या चाहते हो?
हा सर, नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार.
सर, सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट केलेला आहे आणि त्यामध्ये हायपोथेसिस आपल्याला रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन करता येते का?
आता मला माहिती नाही तुम्ही कुठल्या विद्यापीठाबद्दल बोलता आहात. ओके, बट I am open for reconstructing hypothesis, because as you are progressing with your review of literature, okay, as you are advancing yourself in reading, so there are the chances for reconstructing a hypothesis. सुधारनेला नेहमी वाव असला पाहिजे ना. ओके, तो डजंट मीन दैट कि मैंने पहले ये लिखा था लेकिन अभी हम सुधार. सी, महात्मा गांधी ऑलवेज सेज दैट द लास्ट राइटिंग शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज अ फाइनल वन. ओके, सो देयर इज अ स्कोप फॉर द इम्प्रूवमेंट.
नरेंद्र जी सिंह, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Narendra is from Kurukshetra, no? We spoke with him right now.
Okay. Sir, shall we move towards our conclusion?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done, sir. I'm done.
Okay.
नमस्कार सर, एक प्रश्न विचारायचा होता. सर, पीएचडी थिसिसला रिस्पॉन्डंट 300 घ्यायला पाहिजे असं आहे का? की आपण आपलं जर का सगळं फुलफिल होत असेल ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आणि हायपोथेसिस, कमी घेतलं तरी चालेल का?
बघा, नंबर मॅटर नाही करत. तुमचा रिसर्च कुठल्या पद्धतीचा आहे ना, हा मॅटर करतो. ओके, if you are going to deploy the mixed method research, okay, then 200 to 250 suppose sample from the quantitative and few case studies can be okay. But if you are purely going with the quantitative research, then 300 sample is sufficient, nothing like that. So it is between you and your supervisor, and your doctoral research committee. Aside that, there is no any magic number, okay, whether it is a 250, 225, 300, not like that. Okay, research decide number, okay, number not deciding the quality of research.
बरोबर. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर.
धन्यवाद. ओके, तो वाक सर, तुम्ही म्हणतायत की आता मी सेशनला रामराम म्हणावा.
सर, मला बोलायचं होतं.
सर, मजबुरी आहे.
एक शेवटचा प्रश्न आहे सर.
ओके ओके ओके, एक अनास.
सर, जो माझा रिसर्च टॉपिक आहे ना, तो खडी यंत्रावर काम करणाऱ्या कामगारांच्या समस्यांचे अध्ययन आहे. तर त्याच्यासाठी मी जे औद्योगिक कामगारांचे जे कायदे किंवा इतर असंघटित कामगारांचे जे पुस्तक आहेत, तर त्यांचा रेफरन्स घेऊ शकतो का? कारण खडी कामगारांवर आतापर्यंत कुठलं पुस्तक लिहिलेलं नाहीये, तर त्या संदर्भात मला कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर करायची होती.
अहो, जेव्हा तुम्ही खडी कामगारांविषयी अभ्यास करण्याविषयी म्हणता आहेत, ओके, तर मग
हा
ते संघटित क्षेत्र असू द्या का असंघटित असू
हा
द्या,
हो
या संदर्भामधले वृत्तपत्राच्या कात्रणापासून तर संशोधन लेखांपासून तर पुस्तकापर्यंत जे जे उपलब्ध साहित्य आहे ते तुमच्या रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचरचा विषय आहे.
हो सर, तेच क्लिअर करायचं होतं. थँक्यू
हा
सर.
हा, तुम्ही काही म्हणजे शासनाचे अहवाल पण तुमचा अभ्यासाचा म्हणजे तेही त्याचाही तुम्ही पडताळा घेऊ शकतात.
हो
येस. हा, वाकसरांच्या लायब्ररीमध्ये जर त्यांच्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी पूर्वी काही संशोधन केलं असेल तुम्ही त्याचाही धांडोळा घेऊ शकतात.
हो हो
येस. बघा, रिव्ह्यू साठी ना हमेशा 2 P महत्वाचे असतात. 1 P इज अ पर्सन, सेकंड P इज अ पेपर.
हो
डेटा ऑलवेज नीड टू बी डिट्राइव्ड आयदर फ्रॉम पर्सन, ओके, और आयदर फ्रॉम द पेपर. पेपर मधून जो डेटा आपल्याला मिळत असतो तो आपला सेकंडरी सोर्स असतो आणि
हो
पर्सन पासून जो आपल्याला मिळतो तो आपला प्रायमरी असतो. सोपं.
ओके सर.
ओके.
सर,
थँक्यू
एक
सर.
प्रश्न विचारायचा आहे. सर, माझं थिसिस मला मराठीत आहे लिहायचं, पण काही काही अशा कन्सेप्ट असतात की त्या मराठीमध्ये कळत नाही, तर मग इंग्लिशमध्ये थोडासा वापर केला तर चालेल का?
मॅडम, मी राजस्थान मधल्या विद्यापीठामध्ये शिकवतो. ओके. तर बेसिकली काही संज्ञा तुम्ही इंग्लिशमध्ये कंसामध्ये लिहू शकता ना. ओके. मला म्हणजे कसं आहे ना की तुमच्या विद्यापीठामध्ये काय चालतं, काय स्वीकार्य आहे याच्याबद्दल मी अधिकाराने नाही बोलू शकत. मला असं वाटतं की तुमचे सुपरवायझर किंवा तुमच्या कॉलेजचे प्राचार्य किंवा तुमचे मार्गदर्शक मंडळ, ते आता मी जर असं म्हटलं की चालू शकतं, ते म्हणजे कोण लागून गेला जाधव आम्हाला शिकवणारा.
ओके.
येस
सर,
येस.
माझं नागपूर युनिव्हर्सिटी आहे.
असू द्या ना मॅडम, पण मी नागपूरचं, मला नागपूरविषयी माहिती नाही ना.
बरोबर बरोबर.
नागपूरला खूप थंडी
हो
आहे एवढं सकाळी तुम्ही सांगितलं
हो
तेवढंच आहे माझं. आणि ते काय म्हणतात ते सावजीचं मटण एवढंच माहिती आहे मला, बाकी नाही.
हो. बरोबर आहे.
ओके. या.
So, dear
खूप खूप
participants,
धन्यवाद सर.
थँक्यू. सर, मी आता रजा घेऊन आपली.
sir, just second.
ऑल राईट.
सर, जैसे आपने कहा, मैं राम राम करूं क्या अभी सेशन को? पहली बार मिलने वाला आपको राम राम कहेगा, मगर जो भी आपको सुनेगा उसकी दिल से इच्छा नहीं होगी आपको राम राम करने की, वो सुनता ही रहेगा आपको. सर, रियली हार्टली थैंक्स for such a great session. As a behalf of my college, enthusiastic participants, and all the guests, I really thank you. But as a formality for the session, I invite Dr. Komal Kankar to propose out of thanks.
Vaksar,
Yes,
today
ma'am.
I am not currently doctorate.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to all. Myself Komal D. Patangrao, Assistant Professor in Saraswati College of Social Work, Washim. On this occasion, I would like to present vote of thanks the resource person of today's workshop, Honorable Dr. Jagdish Jadhav sir. Sir spent time from his busy schedule to grasp the occasion. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for delivering lecture on how to write a research proposal. Your expertise and insights have been invaluable to our participants. Your lecture was informative and highly relevant to our researcher. Your tips and examples help our researchers in proposals. Your explanation very well how important funding agency is research proposal. We appreciated the time and effort you took to propose. And you explained very well about queries of our participants. We had opportunity to hear you. Thank you, sir, for your contribution. I would say without your contribution, this program might not have been possible. Once again, thank you so much, sir. And I also thanks to the principal, Dr. S.N. Shinde, sir, and vice principal, Bohrapi, sir, and as well as organizing committee, A.T. Vaksar, Bankar, sir, thank you, and all participants, thank you so much.
Sir, for the second session, we have with us Dr. Principal Dr. Talwankar, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, It's my uh, great honor and privilege to introduce an esteemed academician and a visionary leader, dedicated researcher, uh, Dr. Dhananjay Talwankar sir, Principal of GS Science, Arts and Commerce College, Khamgaon. Uh, Sir has an impressive educational background, holding an MSc BA in botany, a PhD, a BEd, and SET. With over 25 years of teaching and administrative experience, he has made a remarkable contribution to the field of education as well as research. He serves as a zone trainer in soft skills for JCI India. Is an ex-president of Khamgaon JCs and currently holds the position of secretary of Lions Club. I would like to inform you that Dr. Talwankar sir is a recognized NAC assessor and has assessed numerous colleges across Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Rajasthan, Gujarat, etc. His academic leadership extends to being a member of IQAC cluster India as a lead college. Also, I would like to express his experience in research. He has significantly contributed to the scientific community. His PhD thesis also explored the lower Gondwana flora from the Kamti state of peninsular India. He has completed two minor and one major UGC funded research project and also published 23 papers in national and international journals and presented 40 plus paper in national and international conferences. He also holds two patents and has guided to awarded PhD students with 8 more currently under his supervision. Dr. Talwankar sir's achievements include receiving the Young Paleobotanist Award at 2023-13 from the Birbal Savitri Sahani Foundation, Lucknow, and Best Principal Award by Career Katta at 2023. In addition to his academic pursuits, he is an active member of several prestigious organizations, including the Indian Botanical Society, uh, Indian Science Congress Association, and the Amravati University Botany Teachers Association. Also serves on the editorial board of the international journal Multilogic in Science and is a member of the board of studies at Sant Gadgi Baba Amravati University, Amravati. His dedication, expertise, and leadership are an inspiration to all of us. Please join me to welcoming Dr. Talwankar sir. Sir, again, I heartily welcome you on behalf of all enthusiastic participants and my organizing team. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this nice word for me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Oh. First of all, I am very much thankful to Saraswati College of Social Work as an organizer of this workshop, online workshop on research methodology, which is in collaborations, we can say, or with the sponsorship of ICSSR. Whole organizing team, I extend my gratitude, and all the participants who are joined with us on different media like Zoom, YouTube, etc. Uh, I'll just take 2 or 3 minutes in what that in my introductions, what he says. Uh, I was a BOS member. Presently, I'm not in that. Very important things. How I am with you, or how we meet here. That organizing committee or organizers, they have booked me, sir. You have to take one session here, and what happened that they have given me some task like that. The syllabus or that the sessions titles, what they have decided, they sent it to me, and they said that apart from all these things which we have covered, your topic should be different from this. I told them that almost each and everything you have covered in this research methodology workshop, which is necessary for especially for the newcomers, because some of the scientists or academicians who are with us, they know all those things. But for the newcomers, because our aim or the aim of any organizing committee is that to motivate the newcomers or new researchers in this field, and they give some clues to them to avoid some mistakes and all those things. So the new researchers or young researchers who are here, I must say that apart from all those things, because what happens when we go for research methodology, even in curriculum also, for so many PG courses, there is one paper specially on the research methodology. Even after that also, in various workshops and all those things, the topic covers right from the problem investigation or hypothesis up to the plagiarism checks and all those things, the writings, academic writing, how should be, how to write the report, and all those things, review literatures, these things covered. But these people, they told me that how, suppose if new researcher, if he writes some paper, research paper, or thesis or any dissertation, then in the hue of referee or valuer, what he thinks or what he that see in that writings, in that hue, you have to give some session for us. So not for the researchers or writers of the paper, that research paper or thesis or dissertation, but for the valuers, or what valuers see in that. We will discuss about that. So I have given that topics, the validation and verification, of course, reliability and all those things, it also includes in that. So what is validation, and why it is important or why it is crucial, we have to see all those things. Just a minute, I want to share a screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Now, our topic is validation and verification in research writings or research methodology, we can say. First of all, see that what are the criteria for judging the quality of a research study. That means whether it may be a paper or it may be dissertations or any writings, research writings or academic writings, that what should be there for the quality writings. See, some of the aspects, it is not all the aspects, but some of the aspects about the truth. You know that everybody knows that quantitative and qualitative, two type of research or research finding, research writing is there. So some differences are there because in quantitative, it becomes somewhat easy. Of course, that is again important that some mistakes, smaller mistakes also change the complete data in quantitative also, but it is somewhat easy to measure. Both things, qualitative and quantitative, are measurable, but in quantitative, exact scale, that means line of demarcation is there. Suppose if you have written about suppose it is of the chemistry or any science that a project, if you write the pH of so and so compound is so and so or so and so solid, so that is the exact quantity 3, 4, 1900, 1000, etc. So complete line of demarcation is there. And in qualitative, what happens? Qualitative, such a exact the figure is not there. There is a scale, and that's why it becomes somewhat difficult, and it may also change from person to person slightly about his opinion and hue, etc. So how the quality of research can be judged? In quantitative, that internal validity means how much that persons, that is writer, he has validated it, he has checked it with the proofs or the etc. Some reviews and all those things. While in qualitative, we have to see about the truth, that is credibility, how much credible it is. So because research, it is depends on the truths, what are the findings, that exactly whether you have presented or not, and that is actually the validations or the verification. Then applicability. Nowadays, I must say to the new researchers that you might have known that the guidelines for your even the PhD thesis writing or the anything research work you are doing, even the submissions of dissertations and etc. The last very important aspect is nothing but the that implications of your work, how that your work is useful to the society or the academicians, researchers, etc. That means the applicability. And for that applicability in quantitative, you have to check with external validity and generalizability also. How we can generalize it for the applications of the society and for the different groups. That is very much important. In qualitative also, the transferability. Suppose some patent is there. If that patent is only for the that certificate, then it is of no use. How much it is applicable, how much it is transfers or it get commercialized and useful for the society, that is very important. So that things also should be there in the writing. So for the quality work, quality writings, these things can be checked by the researcher himself or herself, and then it should be verified from other peers and etc. also. Then consistency should be there. In quantitative, we have to check the reliability of the consistency of that particular findings of the researchers, and the dependability. If it is the qualitative, then dependability, how much it is depend on the other things. The my research findings, it is, if it is depends on the other, how much it is depend on the other research work. That is also one of the things to judge the research study, quality research work. And neutrality. That is, in quantitative, objectivity should be there, but in qualitative, we can't say objectivity or the exact that word, because as I told you, in quantitative, objectivity can be maintained because it is fixed figures or fixed things. In qualitative, we can say it confirmability. That means in both the things, or both quantitative or qualitative type of research work, neutrality means it should not be the bias. It should not be biased. It is very, very important. So such type of quality work, if someone is doing, then that what is the role of validation and verification? First of all, we will see just definition or its meaning, its explanation, that what is validation. Validation is the process of evaluating the accuracy. It is the process of evaluating the accuracy. Of course, each and everybody, when he writes, he is much confident that I have written exactly the truth or accurate, whether it is quantitative or qualitative, I have written it accurately. But many times what happens, just that I can share my example yesterday's. When I was preparing these presentations, one of the slide, it get duplicated. So when I checked it afterwards, once again, at that time, I found that things, and I have deleted that one. So in the beginning, that I am much confident that okay, that presentation has been overheard, that it is now ready. But that's why the validation, whether it is exactly or accurate what I want to write, whether it is exactly or it is accurate as it is, that should be validated. And that's why the validation is the process of evaluating the accuracy, its relevance, as I told you, that how much it is useful to or how much it is applicable. So its relevance, that relevance of that work with the other research works and other thing, its consistency of data, what you have written there, the methods or methodology, as well as very important things, your findings, that is results. That results, how much how it is consistent and how it is objective, all those things also should be checked in validation. Likewise, in verification also, verification, it is, we can say, it is the next step to the validation. After validation, the verification is there. So verification means, it is, on the other hand, is the process of checking or confirming. What we have done in validation, we have evaluated, we have confirmed. But after that, it is nothing but the checking, or we can say it the verification. So verification is nothing but the checking or confirming that something is a true, accurate, or correct. That means which is validated, this should be verified it again. It involves evaluating whether the research method, procedure, or results are consistent with the predetermined expectations of the researcher. Researcher, what he expect in his hypothesis or in his finding, it is exactly consistent. My writing is exactly consistent with that. It is accurate, it is correct, it is on the same line exactly. That should be verified here. So the standards or criteria. Verification focuses on ensuring that research has been conducted in a rigorous, systematic, and transparent manner, following established protocols and guidelines. Established protocols and guidelines. So we have to verify that the methods or the protocols which are there, we have to verify that my research work is according to it or not. That should be verified. So simply you can say that the validation, the researcher has to validate his data or his writing at its own. And verification, for that, he has to take the help of other. That means we can say the peers, the peer review, that means other persons, because many times we say that our mistakes, if you read it many times, sometimes it may not find out by you yourself, but it can be find out by the other persons, and that's why it should be verified by other. It may be the systems, because today for quantitative research, in many cases AI is used. So you can take help of technology as well as the peer friend, we can say, in your subject who is doing work. So you can help of data. In simply, this figure, it explains the both actually, validation as well as verification. You can see the figure, it itself is explanatory. That is your minute observations about your writings and findings, what I have done, what I have found, what I have written in my paper or my dissertations. It should be seen minutely, very minutely, the single mistake or the single things which is not consistent with our data or our findings or our expectations about our own work. And that's why it should be checked, it should be verified very minutely. So minute observations is very important, and that is nothing but the validation. See, what is the difference? Minute difference is there. As I told you, verifications, it can be done by the others. As I told you in the beginning, what is the expectations of that organizing committee from me as a referees hue or evaluators hue. So that evaluations means actually it is nothing but the verifications for the data has been written by the researcher or that academician's paper written by whom. And that is nothing but the verification. So before that, he himself should validate it, first of all, what I have written. So minor difference is there in the validation and verification. So we'll see that validations, it ensures data meet specific requirement before it's used. And the verification, it ensures the data is accurate and consistent after it has been stored or processed. Because if during the data entry, we can say, as I have shared very lucid examples. See, I am giving the examples for the new researchers, very simple examples. For the our colleagues which are with us in this meeting, they know all those things. But for motivations to the new researchers, that things you have to see, and that's why I have given the examples. Yesterday, when I have prepared these presentations, as I told you, I have deleted one of the slide. That means important is that my writings, I have checked it once again. That means that is the validation. So that is at the time of preparation of presentation. That means during the data entry. That means before it is used. Now we are using. Today I am using my presentation for you people. But yesterday it was before used. So that is with me only. So in validations, the validation ensures the data meets specific requirement before it's used. And the verification, that means if any mistakes or any things is there in my presentations, and if you peoples, that means all the participants, if some participants say me or inform me that, sir, in this slide, that word was somewhat different or that data was not correct. So that is nothing but the verification. That is the verification. So verification of these presentations, it is by the participants, means peer here, because what I have prepared, that has been verified by the participants. And validations means what I have yesterday done. That means my own writings checked or validated by me own. So that is before used and this one is after used. That is very important difference among this between this validation and verification. Validation is typically happens when data is entered or collected. Even during the data collection, if you are going for the research on suppose a survey type of research and you are collecting the data. So at the time of data collecting, what is your expectation? Whether data collections is exactly line up with that. We'll just take one example. If you have to collect the data of that COVID period of one of the place or one of the districts, you have to collect the data, and your expectation is that how much death takes place in this district, say Washim district. Suppose it is 5,000 death takes place in this district. Whether this takes place during 2020-21, whether this takes place all the deaths due to COVID only or other parameters are also there. So how much exactly the death takes place by the COVID in Wasim district, this is the expectation of researchers. And for that purpose, he is collecting the data. And during data collection, if any mistake, during data collection, if any mistake means if suppose he has prepared some questionnaire and he is taking primary data from house to house, and in that questionnaire, if there is no questions related to that of the death or any deviations or anything takes place during the 2021, if such question is not there, then how he will find out correctly or accurately the death takes place or the persons infected in that period from the COVID. So that is suppose mistake. So at the time of data collection, he can validate it and he can change, he can add that questions in that. So during the data collection, or even if some of the mistake is not during the data collections or validate during the data entry, at that time also he can validate, he can correct it, he can mention those things. Another examples, he has taken the data and during the entry due to any ignorance or anything, the data entered is mismatched with the data collected, any figure. That means if it gets validated, then it can be corrected at the same time. So these data validations can be done before it's used when the data entered or collected, etc. Here, the verification often involves the comparing data to a known source or reference. Any such type of work or work on this line related to that of the COVID, suppose the examples which we have taken. If any previous work is there, he has to compare this data with that one. But that problem or expectations of previous researchers may be different. He might be collecting at that times only the COVID infection takes place in this Wasim districts or COVID infected persons in the Wasim districts. That type of project was there. But these persons who is doing presently the work on this COVID, how much death takes place, he has to compare the data collected with that previous one. With that review literatures, what we say in that. So he should compare it with that because it will be verified afterward. What you said that by the referee as well as the peer or the friend to whom you are giving. In data validation, it ensures data is usable for further processing. Data validation ensures data is usable for further processing because it is during the entry, collections, etc. and it can be used furthermore. And data verification confirms that data accurately reflects the real or truth. In validation, it ensures that it can be used afterwards for the another projects or it can be used afterwards also. But data verification, it confirms. It will not process afterwards. It confirms that it is the accurate one. And that's why in this regards, we can say the verifications, it has again the more responsibility we can say to check the correct or accurate data than that of the validations. So first validations, after validations, that verification is there. Data validation is often used for data entry, form submissions and data import, while the data verification is often used for the data integrity check. That how much consistent it is, etc. Then authentication, compliance audits and data migration. I will just check one of the verifications and validations, both the things at the same time. Of course, the participants are from the different streams, some from the humanities, social engineering, technology, science background, commerce background, management backgrounds, etc. I will take one by one. Here, just I take one of the example of science of my subject only, the biotechnology. Everybody knows that it is somewhat emerging branch. It comes afterwards, that 1971 and etc. And everybody wants to do some things in the biotechnology. And research students or research scholars also inclines towards it. Each and every student wants to do something in the biotechnology or bioinformatics, such applied subjects, and not towards the basic things like that botany or all those things. One of the students, he has selected one plant. And he has done his work or research work on the tissue culture technique used for that plant. That plant was in the endangered or rare list, and that's why he has tried to make it or grow it with the tissue culture technique. So he has done his work on the tissue culture. His findings, each and everything, taste, protocol, methodology, all those things are related to the tissue culture of that particular plant. That how these plants can be grown with the help of tissue culture or propagated with the help of tissue cultures. Everything was there. He was succeed also in that. And in findings or in conclusion, he says that by using this protocol, these plants can be grown or can be propagated with the tissue cultures, etc. After that, during the verifications by the peer or referee or some other person, it comes to know that the plant that person has selected, that means the that sample, we can say in this language, the sample which he has selected, the identification of that sample was wrong, because it didn't validated by himself. The plant which we have chosen, the sample we have chosen, it's a name, whether it is correct, whether it is accurate or not. The person or that researchers also not validated in that, because at that time he has not interest in that basic things. Okay, somebody says that this plant is so and so XYZ. He has written the XYZ plant, and then he has done his research work on the tissue culture and etc. All those things. During the verification, the protocol, methodology, etc. used for the tissue culture work, it was not worth, because what has been written, it might not be useful for the plant which he has noted there. The plant, the name of which he has given, it might not be useful for that, because it comes to know that that identification of that plant was wrong, or it was not accurate. Instead of wrong, we can say it was not accurate. And that's why, due to as it was not validated, not verified earlier, and that's why that it affects his or one's research work. So authentication, in verification, authentication is important. First of all, that person has to validate whether from the references and all those things, whether it is correct or not. And then some of the peers, that means some of the taxonomists, etc., he has to send that plants to the taxonomist and say that whether this name written to this plant, whether it is correct or not. He has to authenticate it from the taxonomist. He has authenticated to that literature, previous literature, like that flora or such type of the papers or previous writings. So the in verifications, the it authenticates the research work. This is the difference, minor difference in validation and the verification. The purpose of validation is to check whether data falls within the acceptable range of values. And verification deals with that of the check data to ensure it's accurate and consistent. The very funny examples which I have read about this, in one of the research work of the humanities, we can say, the that researchers, what he has written, I will not go in depth that what type of research was there and what was the expectations of all those things. We have to say just what is the check to data falls within the acceptable range of values and accurate and consistent. So difference of these two words, it is very important. Acceptable range of values, acceptable range. It might not be accurate, it might not be consistent, but whether it is acceptable or not, or in that range or not, and after verifications, it is accurate and consistent. That research was related to the human beings. It might be about the disease causing among the peoples or any pandemic or anything like that. And what data he has entered or written, it might be mistakenly or anything. The person of this area that I have taken the interviews and all those things, the questionnaire filled and data collected in this way. The persons who was 12 feet high, 12 feet in height, they get susceptible to so and so what's a causal organism. And we'll see that suppose that research work was related to some of the disease, how it spreads, and that causal organisms causing that disease. What he has written that what we say that during the COVID also comorbidities and who has sugars and the other infections, etc. That is more susceptible. Likewise, our finding was there. So likewise, the what he has written, the it is related to that of the height. The persons who is 6 feet and less or 5 feet and what we can say shorter than that, they are more resistant than from 5 feet to 7 feet, so and so 7 feet to 9 feet, so and so, etc. One of the aspect was there that it might be the mistake during the data entry, but the height, if it is 12 foot, then it is more susceptible to this causal organism. Now see, for validation, if that persons or researcher, if validates that data, then he might find out there whether the data entered, it is the quantitative data, 12, it is the quantity. So the data entered, whether it is in acceptable range or not. That means if you write it from 3 feet to 6 feet, 4 feet to 7 feet, or even the 8 feet, we can say, though I have not seen, it might be acceptable range, because the height of the person, it might be some maybe very short, that even shorter than that of the 3 feet. But normally 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, etc. But the 12 feet heighted person or human beings, nobody has a sin. And so whether that data is acceptable? No, not at all. So if you validate it, definitely that mistakes, whether that mistake is the during the data entry or these things, it can be changed there, it can be checked there. So that is acceptable range. But here in verifications, he has to write exactly. That means accurate. Whatever it may be, need not necessary that it is the quantitative, it may be the qualitative. From 5 feet to 6 feet person, it is acceptable as well as it is accurate also. And if that range is just acceptable but not accurate, that is, we can say, the validation. Types of data validations. As I told you, the validations can be done, or data can be validated during the collections of the data, during entry of the data, or even before the processing, we can say. So on that basis, the types of validations, it normally it is studied under these 3 years. That is pre-entry data validations. That means during the collections or when your rough work is there. Pre-entry data validation. Then entry data validation. That means during the processing. That is before processing, pre-entry data validation, during processing, entry data validation, and post-entry data validations. After processing also, when your work is ready, suppose if it is the paper written by you or researcher, then after completions or when you complete your writings, after that, you have to validate it. So accordingly, it is divided or classified into 3 types. We'll see some of the examples of validation. Previous examples, survey research, we can say this example is from the humanities. A researcher develops a questionnaire to measure job satisfaction among employees. What is the aim? That is job satisfaction. He has to work or he has to write on job satisfaction. He has to find out on job satisfaction among the employees. Validation would involve checking whether the questionnaire actually measures job satisfaction and not some other aspects like the employees' motivations and all those things. So what is your hypothesis? What is your hypothesis or what is your expectations? What is the hypothesis? That is what idea you are having for the research work, and that develops into the hypothesis. So what is your expectations? What you have to do? That is your hypothesis. Yes, I have to work on the employee's satisfaction. And for that purpose, for the data collections, I have prepared a questionnaire. So in that questionnaire, the questions should be related to the data which will be helpful to find out the employee's satisfaction. The other questions, if are there, and it is not about the job satisfaction, say it is about the motivations and all those things for the to increase the work capacity or the production. If the training, motivational training, if question is related to that, how many trainings, motivational trainings has been conducted in this industry. So it is not exactly related to that of the employees' satisfaction. The question, it means not that the trainings in only it is for the employers that benefit, and it is for only the motivation and not for the job satisfaction. It means not that. The employees might be interested in the trainings, but in questionnaire, how the question forms. If you have written how many trainings has been conducted, on the motivation, it is not related to the employee satisfaction, but the same question in questionnaire, if you change, if the researcher change the training conducted, if so, if any training conducted in this industry, what is your opinion about that industry, about that trainings? This question is related to the employee satisfaction. If employee writes there, no, it is just a burden from the employer, and that's why we attend it. Otherwise, it is of no use. So it means not that it is not satisfied. Employee satisfaction is not related to that. And if he writes, oh yes, due to that trainings, I have developed my potentials and I am very happy about that, then again, it is related to employee satisfaction. So that question, how you have changed. So your expectations, researcher expectations or hypothesis that data collections, it should be in line up with that, and it is related to that. So this is one of the example of survey research. If it is not in that, that means it is not validated. It means not that validated. Medical research, a new diagnostic test is developed to detect specific disease. Validation would involve evaluating the accuracy of the test in correctly identifying the disease. If it is related to that, correctly identifying disease, then it is experimental work. It is, if some test is there, that means laboratory work. If test is there, that test should be exactly in line up or in hand in hand with that of the hypothesis or the expectations of the researchers for which he is doing his research. So that should be validated. Psychological research, a researcher creates a new scale to measure an anxiety level. Validation would involve checking whether the scale is a valid measures of anxiety by correlating it with other established anxiety measures. If it is not at all related to that of the anxiety levels, then how that findings or how that results is with that of the hypothesis or the problems which taken for the research. So it should be validated. So these are the some of the examples. Steps to data validation process. The various steps. That means from each and every steps up to the publications, it is in your hand for the validation. The first steps we can say that is the data entry, or even before that, data collection. Data collection, then data entry, then validation rules, then validation process, and error handlings. See, some of the methods of validations, this can be used for verifications also. Hypothesis. Some hypothesis should be there. That hypothesis, it should be for, that means problems on which the one has to work. That is very important. And it should be validated. Each and everything should be validated. Because if that problem or hypothesis, if it is not validated and if it has some mistakes or it is not accurate or it is not in line up with the idea of the researcher, then your findings after the work completions, it might not be the quality work because hypothesis was somewhat wrong. So the hypothesis, then analysis during the works, that is analysis, then data, each and every steps of the data, data entry, questionnaires, etc. Then experimental works, then reasoning, then to with which you are validating it, that is proofs from the review literature for what review you have taken and it is line up with your work. Then journals, various journals, test. It is useful for verification also. Not only the validation, the proof, journals, etc. or the previous writings, because you have to compare it with that of the previous writings in verification. So journals, various tests which are investigated earlier and which is mentioned there, as well as the measurements, then paper reviews, the different evidences which you have seen. So these are various methods which we used. For the analytical method validation, the process by which it is established by laboratory studies that the performance characteristics of the method meets the requirement for the intended analytical application. It is very important. What is the validation? Validation means only simply we can say what I was expecting before to start this research work, what was the idea? What was the idea? It should meet all the characteristics of that. That is nothing but the validation. So accuracy, the closeness of test results obtained by the method to the true value. This accuracy should be established across its range. It mostly happens in the analytical methods, generally in the science research, in laboratories and etc. Suppose that one of the that product or some thing is there, solutions and etc. And you are checking its characteristics, the value of particular characteristics, say pH or say anything. Its boiling point, its melting point. It is given in previous writing, suppose in previous writing, it is given that melting point of that so and so elements, it is the 120. And during your work, it is 60 or 70. Then definitely you have to validate not only that, you have to verify that because some mistake is there. It might be in your parameter, your laboratory conditions, the chemicals which you are using or instruments which you are using, tools which you are using, because this is not in line up with that. If it is in the previous writings or previous proofs, validations, journals, etc., it is written 120. And if you are with the 121, 122, or 118, 117, 119, then it's okay. It's okay. But if it is not in line up with that of the previous writings, then it might be something different. It means not that you have not done the work, you are not validated. During the validations and verification, if any faults or any shortcomings is there, you can find out. Because many theories in science, also many theories, it get exactly opposite by the other researcher, but they have validated it earlier. So likewise, the precision, the degree of agreement among individual test results, when the method is applied repeatedly to multiple sampling of a homogeneous sample. Because the test which you have performed, if it performs many times or multiple times, then the result should be the same. So if you perform it repeatedly, result should be the same. If it is repeated by some other persons at other place, it should be the same. So that should be validated and verified. As I told you, that it means not that if which examples I have shared with you before this one, that laboratory melting point of 1, it is 120, it is a 60, such type of. That means the once it get established or it is the previous writing is there, then we should be in line up with that ones only. We cannot write anything, or we cannot find out anything opposite to that. It means not that. I'll just share one example. Previous theory, global warming, everybody knows. The temperature, it rises. You might have read, you might have heard, and everybody knows that so many reports are there. The temperature is increasing day by day, and that's why the many measures, that is plantations and plant conservations, forest developments, etc., we have taken. Not only the Indians, but throughout the world, that measures has been taken. That temperature is rising, and that's why the carbon credits and all those things are various schemes that also we are implementing. For what? Because so many reports are there, the temperature is increasing day by day, and it leads to the global warming. If it continues, there will be one stage that temperature is very high, and it might be very harmful to not only the human being, but all living organisms. This reports, not only this is the single report, in many findings or many papers, you might have read it. At the same time, the another one things which you might have not read, or some of the researchers might have seen, another one who is also there, and which we have we have seen also at very places. um, uh, what we say, that the cold theory, one of the person from Pune, one scientist, that Rajesh Shekhar, I think, his cold theory says that day by day, definitely the temperature is increasing, but one stage will be there, the result of this one. One stage will be there, the severe cold will be there everywhere in the world, and world will finish with the severe cold. That means the temperature so low. So that is exactly the theory against this one. So findings might be there, but he has validated his findings. The researcher should validate some proof, some evidences should be there with the line of that researchers. So this is very important. And in analytical methods, that means in experimental, it is very important or crucial, we can say. Data validation process, it includes these aspects, that is clarity goals. There should be the clarity during the validations. If clarity is not there, then one should change it. During the data collections, you should be very careful. Your questionnaire of the data collection should be in line up with that. Your research work or hypothesis, or your expectations about the result of this. What is the hypothesis? Hypothesis is nothing but the expectations of the results. That means consequences of this research work. After my research work, what will be there? That is nothing but the hypothesis. So that is the expectations of the researcher. So during the data collections, each and everything, that is data collection, method of data collections, data entry, etc., all should be in line up with that. Then categorizations, the data validation process, in that you have to categorize all those things and the validate. It should evaluate. It should evaluate. That means validated. Whether I have done this exactly or accurately or in line of my research or not, it should be evaluated. After evaluations, it should be analyzed. Analysis of each and everything should be there. Prioritize all those things which you have written, and it should be implemented, and overall monitoring of these things is necessary, each and everything. Why this validation is important? Where it is important? The validation is important to ensure the accuracy. Ensures the accuracy, because when you validate, you becomes more confident that the data enters or what I have written, it is accurate. So for accuracy, ensures accuracy, the validation is important. It ensures that the research findings, measurement or results are accurate and true representations of the phenomenon being studied. What I have studied, its true representation is this one. It ensures the researchers. Then it builds credibility. It builds credibility. Validated research finding increase the credibility of the researcher and the research itself, making it more reliable and trustworthy. Just we can take an example. Suppose any product in market. We will take the example of commercial research. What we say always, the brand. Suppose cosmetics. If you have to purchase some cosmetics, though price may be different in market, one of the brand, I will not use the name of any industry, but the different brand which we used in the cosmetics. Just say for our sake that Pond's, Fair and Lovely, like that. Another one cream is there, which I have invented through my research and taken it to market. And I told you, and I have tried to convince you that this cream or this product, it is what we say more better than that of the so and so brand. Then the customer or you will not purchase the products which is new to you, because you are not having that faith in me or in person. Why? Because research and development sections of that particular XYZ industry is there, and you are having faith in that this product it will not have a side effects and all those things. You are having faith in that. So in this way, this research validation, if that research in their R&D sections, if that research is not validated and verified, just something is there, find out, and it comes to market, then it may lose the credibility. It may not build the credibility in the market or society, etc. So the validations and verifications, it builds, especially the validation, it builds the credibility. Just a minute, excuse me. It reduces the errors. As I have told you, small mistakes might be there or some small errors might be there. After validations, it automatically overcomes. So it reduces errors. It helps to identify and correct the errors, reducing the risk of incorrect conclusions and misinterpretations. It enhances the replicability. It can be used multiple times. It is replicable. Validated research findings can be replicated with confidence, ensuring that the result can be generalized and applied in different contexts. It increases the confidence. It increases the confidence. Of course, if you have validated your data, you are much more confident about your findings and your research and your even the protocol which you have used during your research work. So validation instills confidence in the researchers or in his research outcomes, allowing researchers to draw meaningful conclusion and make recommendations. Benefits of the data validations: it improves the data quality. Error can be prevented by the validation. It enhances the data consistency. As I told you that it can be replicated. So consistency, then data integrity. It improved decision making. It reduced data entry errors. Faster data processing as you are confident after validation. Compliance and regulatory requirement. If anybody says about your work, or if any question is that if you are presenting some paper in conference or anywhere, and if anybody raise or anybody ask about the doubts, then if validation is there, you can comply it because you have validated earlier the data. And of course, it is user friendly interface because it is validated. Validation and verification, as we have seen the differences in that earlier, we will take some of the examples again to just see the slight change in that. Validation answers the questions. Are we measuring what we think we are measuring? See, on the basis of these questions, you will follow it very easily. You will understand it very easily. Validation answers the question, are we measuring what we think we are measuring? That means our hypothesis. What is my expectations, what I thought that I will do this work in this way? Whether this is exactly on that line or exactly like that. So validation answers the questions. Are we measuring what we think we are measuring? And verification answers the question. Did we follow the correct procedure to get the result? This is the difference. That what I want or what I expect in my research work, whether I am doing this in the same line, that answers by the validation. And in verifications, in addition to that, okay, it is validated. I am doing the same work first, what I was thought in my mind or what is my expectation. But the method used for it by earlier workers, whether it is on the same line or it is correct or not, I have to verify it with the proofs, peers, previous reviews, journals, etc. So the verification answers the question, did we follow the correct procedure to get the result? In other words, the validation is about ensuring the accuracy and relevance of the research findings, while verification is about ensuring the quality and rigor of the research process. And if rigor is there, only then the reliability, it extends up to the reliability or it builds the reliability, credibility in the market or the other persons. How validity can be improved? Our validation works, how it can be improved. The validity of the research finding is influenced by a range of different factors, including choice of sample, researcher's bias, and the design of the research tools. As I told you, suppose if if researcher from the humanities, his choice of sample, suppose you have to work on that fluorosis, I am talking about the work done by humanity person or the subject of humanities or social works, etc. He has to work on the fluorosis. Fluorosis means, suppose he have chosen that in particular area, the whether the persons are with the fluorosis or how much that fluorosis spreads in this area. His expectation is that I have to find out the results and in this way. The sample he has to take. Suppose he has chosen sample, that means the site as well as the sample size also. If he has chosen one of the district like that of the Washim or Akola or Bid, then about his expectations, as his expectation is to works on the fluorosis. Fluorosis causes major or such patients you can see more in the Yavatmal district, not in the Bid. Yavatmal districts or not in the Akola, because fluoride level is more in the that water or in soil in that area. So for the work on fluorosis, he has to take the samples from that Yavatmal district or from that area. Again, whether you have taken it from the rural or urban or both, that he has to check. Then sample size, how much samples you have taken from one village, how much you have taken, or if you have just visited two village and your finding is about the whole country, is it right? No, not at all. So this sample, it is very important. Work are that findings, it should not be biased. No need to say more about the bias. Your results, whatever it may be, it should be the exactly entered and data should be taken the same. No manipulations, or it should not be the bias. That is very important. And the design of the research tool, design of the research works, as well as the tools which you are using. For tools, I'll take the examples of science persons. If I have to do some work in my laboratory, which tools I am using? It is very important. So which instruments I am using, what is the conditions, that is also the tools. So what type of condition is there, how my laboratory is, so that tools I am using. In quantitative as well as in qualitative research, some different things we have to consider. In quantitative research, appropriate statistical analysis of the data is important. Quantitative research, appropriate statistical analysis, it is very important. In qualitative, avoiding researchers' bias, it is very important, because here there is a scale, not exact figures, and that's why the researcher's bias, it is very important. He has to take somewhat objectively the answers. He should not be the bias about that. Design of the research tools in quantitative, design of the research tools, as well as the sample selection and sample size, as I have told you. In qualitative, the sample selection as well as member checking, and very important thing is that the peer review and external audits. You have to take the help in qualitative. You have to take the help of other persons, because it depends on how you think, your opinion, because it is qualitative. We can take the examples of our NAC accreditation process. In NAC accreditation process, as it is bifurcated in 70%, 30%, quantitative, qualitative. In quantitative, the number which you have written, it is very important. So it should be validated before writing. It should be validated. Suppose you are writing that on the patents and research methodology, we have conducted the 17 workshop in these 5 years. You are entering this data, 17. So the 17, this should be validated whether I am having the data of that 17th workshop or 17 programs. That should be validated. That proves GPS photographs, attendance, which participants, which faculty was there, and etc. Because the data enters here, that is the 17. So your statistical data, that is important. While here in qualitative, that means in 30%, when the team visit, your college or your institutions for NAC accreditation, then you have to show that attendance. When you show the photographs, then what type of that workshop was? That assessor, it find out, he can verify from that how you have conducted this program, and what is the expectations behind this. Why we conduct the such type of workshop, IPR workshop, patent workshop, research methodology workshops, and all those workshops to inculcate or to instill that research ecosystems in our institutes, or that the innovation systems in our institutes. So that is the expectations. So that is our hypothesis there, that if we conducted more trainings, more workshop, and more programs related to these innovations ecosystems, then so many people's or even our teachers, as well as not only that, our students also get interested towards the research, and they will do this. Some innovative things also might come out from this. So that is nothing but the hypothesis. So after completing your research, whether that has been the completed or it is line up with this one, this can be a thing from that. But assessor's tips, it will see your number. They will not concentrate on your number 17, it's okay. But the persons who have attended those workshops, whether he has written any paper, research methodology workshops, 17 workshops you have conducted on that, and attendance was there. One of the professor, that is Professor Bankar, say coordinator of this. Professor Bankar was the coordinator of that, and he has attended the 17 workshops also. If in findings, assessor will see that whether any paper, any dissertations is written or published by the Mr. Bankar. If it is so, then that is nothing but the output of that one. So one will see that whether it has been published or not. Another one assessor, he will see whether the placement is taken it or not. So in verification, what happens? The person has to see here whether some publications are there or not. It is in line up with that. It is line up with that, because research methodology workshop conducted, the person who has taken the benefit of it, he has published his work in, or he has done some quality research work. That means the objective fulfilled. But if we see it placement, need not necessary that one who is engaged in the quality research work, he will get the job immediately. Not necessary. So here, this hue of the verification person, it is the bias. This one is the bias. First one, that is publications of the quality research work, it is in line up with that. So in qualitative, this may change like that. In quantitative, you have to see the statistical data, but in qualitative, that peer reviews, as person to person it change, and that's why what you have written, just show to your friend related to that work. So that is the peer review. Means it need not necessary that you have to send the papers to some scientist. To give it to the colleagues first, say it to verify it. So this is the about the validity, how we can improve it. Different sources for the validations and verifications, as I told you, that the peer review, your friends, etc. So the different sources are there for the validations. That is, participation confirms, articles or video which are previous related to your research work. From that also you can validate your data or your research work. Discussions within the research team, as I told you, with the colleagues or the other peers. With discussions also you can validate your data or your findings or your research work. Interview guidelines based on review of previous study. If you have taken the review of previous paper, previous dissertations, previous study, etc., and on that basis, or you have taken the interviews of some such persons who are involved in that line, that also helps for the validation. It improves the validation. Then data saturation. Somebody is doing work on the same things, and so many data is there. So if availability is much more, saturation is there, then it also helps to validate your data. And in-depth interview, very important. In-depth interview, what you want to clarify, that should be asked to the peers or some other persons and verify from it, validate from it, and then go ahead. Definitely your writings will be improved. Mm. Uh, some of the tips to use validated methods. How to validate? Make yourself familiar with the new methods. Make familiar with the new methods, and then only you can validate it. Otherwise, once you have completed, just you have seen the protocols, you have just finished it, then if any mistake is there, you will not go back because you are not much more familiar with it. So make it familiar. Make necessary preparations before you start your work. Necessary preparations, what I have to do. If you have to make the questionnaire, if you have to take the interview, then make your questionnaire for the interview. Do some previous work, do some preparations for that. It will help for the validation. Analyze only an optimum number of samples. Optimum number of samples. Don't take it much less. Don't take it much more, because result may vary there and your expectations might not be fulfilled. So optimum number of samples for particular work, it also helps to validate it, and then revalidate as appropriate. Revalidate as appropriate. If you that satisfy, then also once revalidate it, then it will okay. We'll see just examples. I will give the examples of like that of the validation, some verification examples also. And if you do not validate or verify the data, such type of examples also we will take 2 to 3 examples, and then I will conclude my topic. See about the verifications, data analysis. One of the example, a researcher analyze a data set using a statistical software package. Verification would involve checking that the statistical calculations were performed correctly and the results are consistent with the data. During the data analysis, what that researchers, he wants to analyze a data set using some software. He has to verify it. He has to verify it by checking the statistical calculations, whether it performs correctly or not. From one of the examples from literature review, because at each and every stage or each and every writing, for hypothesis, you have to validate it. For review peer reviews, you have to validate it. For your analysis, you have to validate it. For your results, you have to validate it. So literature review, a researcher conducts a literature review on the topic of climate change. Verification would involve checking that the sources cited are credible. What he has taken as a source, it should be credible, up to date, and accurately represented in the review. Many times what happens, suppose some old journal is there, then I'll just share examples. I didn't recollect that exact data, but just my daughter, she appeared for that Homi Baba exam, and one of the questions what she has written, it was wrong. But after that, after seeing key, she has shown me one book, textbook of that curriculum book of her standard 9th class. Uh, and in that, in bold letters, it was written that what type of batteries are used. Question was like that: what type of batteries are used in modern technology for long-lasting results? And in her book, that one block was given in bold letters that lithium is prepared for this work. She has written the lithium and it was wrong. The answer was something different. So when she has seen the on the Google search one of the papers, and then now from lithium again Some another elements are also using day by day. So updates. It might be right before 3 years that lithium was using more, but now more than that of the lithium, some other thing is there. So you should be up to date. The recent things also you have to see in literature review. Latest things you have to see. Uh, so the validation, it will help for your validations. Laboratory, for a laboratory experiment, researcher conducts an experiments to measure the effect of a new drug on a specific cell type. Verification would involve checking that the experimental procedure were followed correctly and the result are consistent with the experimental design. In each of these examples, validation focuses on the accuracy, relevance of the research findings, while verification focuses on the quality and rigor of the research process. Importance of verifications like that of the validations, it ensures quality, it detects flaws, it enhances transparency, it reduces bias, as we have seen all those things. It maintains the integrity. It maintains the integrity. Of course, the data is validated and verified. It maintains the integrity. Validation focuses on ensuring that the research finding, measurement, or result are accurate, reliable, and meaningful, and it aims to establish the correctness and legitimacy of the research outcome, while verification focuses on ensuring that the research process, methods, and implementations are correct, complete, and consistent. It aims to ensure that the research is conducted with quality, rigor, and attentions to detail. Validation are validation deals with that of the are we measuring what we think we are measuring, that what we seen earlier, and here how it works in verifications. It answers, did we follow the correct methods? So the validations typically focuses on the research outcome, results, or findings, while verification encompasses the entire research process, including design, methodology, data collection, analysis, and reporting, etc. Validation typically occurs after data collection and analysis or during data collections to evaluate the accuracy and reliability of the results. While verification occurs throughout the research process from design to implementations, that means after your collection and entry of the data also, to ensure that the research is conducted correctly. Validation uses statistical methods, data analysis, and comparisons with existing knowledge of evaluate the accuracy of the results, while verification uses audits, checks, and reviews to ensure that the research process is correct, complete, the consistent. Validation provides evidence that the research findings are accurate, reliable, and meaningful, while it provides the process and all those things, and it is trustworthy, that means reliable. Just I will complete my that words or sharings my views after this one or two examples with validations, without validations. If you are not validated your data, then how it affects your research work. Examples of the consequences of not validating research. If you are not validated, then I have given you one of the examples that of the humanity person or researcher, that 12 feet height person. But still then, one of the examples which is published and which is written without validation. So how it works. That thalidomide tragedy, if you know that it is of the 1950, 1960, thalidomide was marked as a safe and effective sedative. Safe and effective sedative. Despite lack of proper validation, thousands of babies were born with severe birth defects as a result of pregnant women taking the drugs. Consequence, lack of validations leads to serious harms to humans. Only what happens that thalidomide this sedative, when it is written, it is in published, the validation was not there. And that's why only that sedative, that base sedatives and etc., the work has been done. But as it is not validated, as it was not verified, and that's why the its side effects, it affects it consequently. So it was not accurate, correct, and reliable, or showing integrity towards it. So it is the effect of the data or your writings if it is not validated. Another one example is there, that David Fitz Truman's in 1948, the Chicago Tribune mistakenly declared Thomas Davy the winner of the presidential elections despite incomplete and inaccurate polling data. Just it is simple that examples, such type of examples we might have seen in our elections also, or even students' elections, etc. If you have not validated it, if you have not validated it, whether I have counted that vote correctly, in same manner, say for the preferential voting of our in our academic systems also, that senates and all those, that preferential voting, if it is not exactly or accurately counted, and many times it happens, some mistake is there, but it is not validated. Once the counting has been done, the person elected or winner, it may declare in hurry. Actually, once you should validate it. So after the validations, when that loser, it takes or raise the objections, and after that the re-verification or recounting means it's nothing but the validation there. So when the validations, validations, that means the person's winner, he is with so and so vote, and loser is with so and so low votes. What that person or election officer counted, that has to be validated because loser has taken the objection. And after recounting means validation, the result change. The result change. So this is the effect of the the consequence of not validating the work. So it is just a simple examples. This is used in research work also. Very important thing for validations as well as the um, verification. Uh, I'll share just one of the examples, which is which is not written, I have not read, but we can think about that. Everybody knows during that COVID period, 2020-21, one of the drugs, even the small kids or even the illiterate person also knows the name of one of the drugs, remdesivir. Yeah, am I right? That remdesivir. This remdesivir, everybody knows in the beginning, what happens? You know that the that black and all those things, which we say that remdesivir was not available because at that time it was just what not declare, but everybody thinks that this is the life-saving drugs. Remdesivir, life-saving drugs. In many newspapers and all those things, they named it as a life-saving drugs. After that, so many people has taken that remdesivir, etc. After that, you might have known it has banned. It has banned. My question is that whether validations was there or not, verification was there or not, whether it is verified or validated that this remdesivir, it can be taken against this corona virus, the different strains of it or not, because before 2020, from many years, that means we can say the first time. Before that, when that COVID and this strain, it was the first times. So nobody it was not possible to take up to the clinical test of whether it may be the vaccine, it may be the any drugs. It was not possible. So after the research findings, because what happens, Fane in December 19th or even before that, Fane in Wuhan or the first infections has been found out. If we think that the research work starts at that time also, there was no time for the validation as well as verifications up to the clinical test of all those things. And that's why it may be possible that some side effects, due to some side effects, it might have leads to some deviations or even the lethal to leads to death also. It might be possible. And that might be one of the reasons that it is banned. So this examples I am sharing, which is my own thinking or own thought. So validation is important, whether it is correct or not. Verification is important from the various sources, whether it is accurate process or not. So this is very important. The other examples of also of the verifications that Enron, everybody knows. Another one examples of the consequence of not validating not validating and not verifying. Only I will share one examples and I will finish here my talk. Samsung Galaxy Note 7, everybody knows. What happens in September 1916? There was a call to return it due to the battery failure. That battery was not validated at that time. After that, the Samsung, that company, it find out, it validate, and the callback for the Samsung mobiles. So the the asking consumers to return their device for the replacement. Samsung initially replaced the affected units, with new device that were supposed to have been fixed. But report of battery issue continued, and even in October 2016, there was a second return call of the same piece. And after that, ultimately advised all users to stop using the device and provided full refunds or exchange for other Samsung products. And that the Galaxy 7 Pro that has been stopped, the another product was there. So these are some of the things that each and every things which we have written that should be validated. This is the protocol, or we can say the flow chart from for validation. Flow chart, it starts from the when you think about your research work. That is the starting. That is from the hypothesis. Then on each and every stage, you can validate your data. That is population identification, survey preparations, data acquisitions, survey analysis process, then validations, again revalidations, etc. Then academic data analysis. After data analysis, the database or LMS systems, and you have to verify it with the previous findings. After validations, you have to do it with the previous findings. And lastly, you can publish, you can take it to the people's, your work, definitely, then it will be the quality research work. Thank you very much for nice hearing. I have tried it in view of referee or valuer, what they try to see in the your writings, whether it may be the paper, it may be your dissertations and etc. Whether that review which has been taken, it is incorporated there or not, previous procedure where that researcher has been seen or not, all those things, it is verified by the peers, and that's why it should be validated by researcher himself at the time of research. Thank you. Once again, I am very much thankful to the Saraswati College of Social Work for inviting me for this lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And sorry for 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, I have taken more.
No problem, sir. Thank you for this useful and enriching session. I request all the participants, if you have any query or problem, you can ask. Please unmute yourself. I think no one is there. So as a protocol, I invite to.
नमस्कार सर. खूप छान सेशन झालं सर. नवीनच कन्सेप्ट ऐकायला मिळाली सरांकडनं व्हॅलिडेशन आणि ह्याची. तर त्याच्यामुळे खूप चांगलं वाटलं. हे खूपच चांगलं सेशन झालं. व्हेरिफिकेशन, व्हॅलिडेशन एवढ्या ह्याच्यामध्ये सरांनी सांगितलं ना समजावून की खूप छान कळलं. खूप छान वाटलं. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर.
Thank you, madam. Actually, it was challenge for me because in your brochures there was no topic about the validations and verifications. It is apart from that because in research methodology, generally we do not cover the validation and verification.
Now, as a protocol, I invite Professor Komal Kankal ma'am to propose the vote of thanks for the session.
Thank you, Vak sir. Good afternoon to all. Today's afternoon session, the resource person, Dr. Dhananjay Talwankar sir. Sir's topic was validation of writing. Sir explained it to us in very contentful. We are deeply grateful for the enlightening lecture on validation of writing. You delivered to our participant your insights on the importance of validation in writing and the practice strategies you shared in for ensuring accuracy and authenticity were truly invaluable. Sir, explained that validation is time consuming and analyzed significantly. So this step is more important in research. Thank you, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule to guide us very well. Today's session is completely filled with the knowledge that is open to all today. Sir, your word inspired all the researcher. Our participants appreciated the clarity and depth of your presentation. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you all participants. Thank you, sir. It's over to Vok, sir.
Thank you all.
So we look forward to more such a session in the future. Thank you.
Sure.
And have a wonderful day. I announce that we will be right back at 1:40 p.m. for the